So everything's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep, there's my one though, and that's my one. What? Nothing. I get one.
You had
your boy in an hour.
You've had two before.
Yeah, I think I was dying that day, but then I came back. I always come back.
Can confirm it's possible.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're back. Team KRMA is back.
Back at it again.
Quit
Did
typing,
the last
Ralph.
episode even get uploaded? I haven't seen it.
Yep.
Okay.
And I can confirm, hopefully, we're not doxxed yet, so.
Yep.
We made it.
Hey, I wouldn't be docked because I was the positive one. And guess who's right?
You brought up the shipping thing, and you said you hated it, so somebody out there is going to be like, he hates Bumblebee, so they're going to find out where you live.
Oh my god.
Detroit.
Bumblebee. Oh my god.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Oh my god.
Because I read Anthology, and I have words.
Oh yeah, you did read it. Oh, that's true. So...
Oh wait, the book?
He read all of
book.
it. Yep.
I didn't realize it was out already.
Good. I have been sent snapshots. It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good.
All right. So
the retcon is strong.
For those that are unaware, we are doing the halfway point of Volume 6, RWBYcast. For us, it's Volume 5.
Let's try and get this uploaded before the season ends, Mike.
There's Smash to be had.
No. Fuck Smash. To hell with
that one.
I have seen at least 7 people who are like, I'm not really interested in Smash. Buy the game today after the Joker thing.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
But
the weeb is strong in many a people.
RWBY, just before Smash becomes a thing. RWBY, please.
But, so yeah, I do like how at the end of Volume 6 will be our Volume 6 for this podcast. It's like, it seems like we planned it. We didn't. At all.
Was any of this planned? Any of it at all?
Oh, not a fucking bit.
Nope. Alright, so.
Just like Ruby.
Yep.
I mean,
until possibly now.
Yeah. So we are at the halfway point of Volume 6. Episode 7 just released today, so we are doing this basically at the almost earliest possible
And we've all
moment.
watched the episode, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, just to start off, at the moment, DA is solidly winning this bet.
Get that money, go get that bread. Bread! Get out of here with that bull crap! I told you! Dedication! Have faith in people and things! My goodness! You guys were just all drawing. Oh, it's not gonna happen. It sucks. It's always sucked. It sucked for all you, so it's gonna suck forever. No, I told you, have faith! Hey. You guys suck. And it feels so good. Not only to be watching RWBY and it finally being good, for me personally, I don't care about y'all, but it finally being good, and I was right, and I'm gonna make a little bit of cheddar. Nothing feels better than that.
Well, congratulations. You got off the Mariana Trench, and you're now on the sea floor. Can't wait to see you get to the surface, if you can.
Hey,
yes.
Wow.
It's getting better and better.
Thank you.
Better and better.
There is still 7 episodes.
Yep.
And again, I hope you win. I hope you win. But there's still 7 more episodes.
It's looking like they might go the route you're expecting, Mike, after this episode at least. The flags are up.
Way up.
I don't think so. I don't think
What
so.
is that? Because I've been kept out of that loop.
So, the one thing, because we had discussions on our main podcast, the podcast of stuff, before and sometimes during, as each episode came out. And DA, for him personally, we had a conversation that basically amounted to, it's over. This season's the best. Why? Because the queen has taken her throne. She's back.
She's taken her throne back. It was not given to her. She took it back by force. Came in guns a-blazing, kicking people in the face. Love her.
So, I'm going to ask you a question. and I'm going to ask, would this ruin the season for you?
If she died or if something bad happened to her, or
specific. There's a
Specifically,
no, let's hear it.
if Cinder kills her
No.
and goes back to swarmy as she does it.
Nope.
Really?
That wouldn't ruin it for you.
Nope. Because this is closure. If they show her corpse, that means she's dead, and I can stop worrying about her. This whole time, I'm just like, she's coming back, she's coming back, she's coming back. All the time, I'm just like, she's coming back, she's coming back. If she's dead, she's just dead, and her story is complete. As long as it has some sort of resolution, then I'm fine. If it doesn't have a resolution, I'd be a little bit less fine. But if she just take this and stabs her, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. But it wouldn't be like, oh, this is ruined. No, the queen is taking back her throne. The next 7 episodes could just be just complete darkness with static going, and I still be like, give me my money, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't take that bet.
There's very little things right now that can ruin this.
Okay. So while we're on the topic of the season being impossible to fail, I want to start.
I didn't say impossible. Don't say impossible.
Don't say impossible.
Okay. Unlikely to fail. What would you give the season as of this halfway point for a rating? 1 out of 10.
Probably like an 8.5, maybe a 9 if I really was generous.
I'd give it an 8.
I give it an 8 too.
I'm about 8.5 as well. Okay. We're all in the same frame here.
So yeah, this season has been absurdly good.
Absurdly good.
Like at this current moment, I would put it as the best season of RWBY.
5 and 6. 5 and 6 don't even seem like the same show.
It does. It really doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Like within the past
just
3
the fight
episodes,
choreography of the Grim Reapers fight this episode alone.
Yes, the past 3 episodes we've had the 2 best fights in RWBY.
Yeah,
not even a contest. We've had the best 2 fights in RWBY.
Easily.
Between.
Oh yeah. I love her design and her weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, holy shit!
So they hit.
She is easily my favorite character in RWBY right now.
I liked her before the whole fighting thing. She really.
Oh, I love
Granny
Reaper, but I love young
her
Reaper.
fight
To
was
me,
amazing.
it's all one. To me, it's all one. Granny and her former self, all one.
Well, no.
Yeah,
I split it up, Granny and Young.
No, that's like
They're
Toph
separate
and
to me.
Avatar. They're all just Toph. Toph is amazing. Toph. But her weapon was really, really good. It wasn't just broadsword sight. No, it had the magnetism stuff and all that crap. It had a gun, but that she used it once. Who really cares about that? But the magnetism thing was awesome.
That was genius.
There's a guy I know. He loves the weapons in RWBY, and when he saw that, it was just non-stop. I love it. 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 He just went nuts.
I'm not surprised. It's
I saw
amazing.
one air quotes. I'm gonna say critique about her character from this episode that if she's supposed to be this legendary huntsman, why did she just get fucked over by just some random fighters? But it's in her nickname. She's the Grim Reaper.
Uh-huh.
To me, okay, that doesn't say anything about her fighting other competent people. It's just that she was specifically designed to fuck up Grim.
Not to mention, if she didn't have the silver eyes, that Nevermore probably would have killed her.
Yeah.
So she's not infallible.
No, she's a silver-eyed warrior, which, okay, my one gripe is still the fact that, we're getting teased with the silver-eyed power this season, and that conversation had in this week's episode about, you can still, do good by showing me how to use my powers. Hard cut! That hard cut away to that phone call, I was actually angry.
Same.
I'm like, give me that moment. I've been waiting for this moment.
Miles came in and is like, nope, it's my turn now. You all are happy I was gone.
We can't expect everything right now. We've been given so much already that's just been boom, 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 instant gratification. We're gonna have
That's
to
true.
wait a little bit long because this is like, okay, that was a little side story thing. Now we're going back to the main story thing, and if we have time, we'll go back to that. But that's always
I know.
in the background.
Because yeah,
I know.
it has been
that's the thing
6
I've been waiting for the most over the past few years. So that's like that was the instant like fucking frustrated moment for me. I'm just like,
Yeah, it has
This
been
is-
6 episodes since Team Juniper has been in the show, which I even thought about that as I was watching the intro. I'm like, they haven't been in there in a while, and then halfway point. Also, they made it
comes
to their
Vomit Boy.
destination halfway through the season. This
Yep.
is new.
Well, this is before they get on the boat.
Oh yeah, they're still not there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But they said they were going to. They said they were going to Argus. They have made it to Argus. The final destination is Atlas, but the beginning goal of the season was get to Argus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I love how the city is based off of San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh, that was easily noticeable.
Yeah.
A merger of Western civilization and Oriental civilization. That was a nice
Yeah.
touch.
All right, so
I liked
let's go in order before we.
Well, quick thing before we get to that. I just want to ask. So, up to this point, we have gotten some interesting Grimm, but can we all agree that the apathy is the best one yet?
Best in the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I mean. Like everything, like that Grimm design was a surprise, but holy shit! I before we talk about the episodes, I want to talk about that one specifically.
Yeah.
Because
I have one tiny gripe with them, but it's
Okay,
It's
let's get to that. But I just want to focus on that because, again, creative-wise, this season has been outstanding, and the Grimm is just no small reason because of it. It's
the Chimera
apathy-
Grimm was good.
Yes,
Manticore
it was.
Grimm was good.
The thing with the apathy that makes it my easy favorite is the fact that it's not a lone Grimm. It has an identity that it works as a pack, and they mention that like this thing is useless. Like, isn't lethal. Like, if there's one or two, get a bunch of them, and all of a sudden, an entire town goes full Firefly. Like, that was impressive to me.
Yeah, for me, the only thing that like annoyed me was when like they first see them and a whole bunch of them like come around the corner and like are trudging slowly, and Ruby shoots them, and then they don't die. It's like pew pew pew. Like, to me, have some of them die. But then have, like, 8 more just, like, come around the corner and just, like, again, like a zombie horde, the overwhelming numbers.
Scream Hail Hydra.
Yeah, no matter how many you kill, it's just their numbers will soon overtake you. Because, like, Miles posted this whole fucking info dump on Twitter either yesterday or today about the apathy and how it's been a thing since before Volume 1.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's a Monty creation.
It was all 3 of them. Miles saw this picture of this scarecrow that, in all honesty, looks like creepy as shit. Hold on, let me
Yeah, pull that up.
pull that
While
up.
you're looking for that whole gun thing, it's almost like guns don't work ever and they're useless and nobody should have them. I don't know. I'm just saying.
But again, to me, even if it wasn't a gun, like her like slashing a few of them, just have some of them die because their demeanor is frail and weak, but just overwhelming numbers. The only critique of it.
I agree. I didn't think about that, but you're right.
I would have had them like have this creepy spawning ability where they multiply like crazy. And they do this weird crickling, twitching thing, and what you killed one, and meanwhile the ones in the back are spawning like 5 more to replace it.
I would even say, to be honest, an even better use of that is in multiple scenes you see that the group break down because of the apathy's effect. That's how you spawn them. They spawn off of apathy. So you kill a few, but then they respawn as your group breaks down. The more apathy, the more of them there are. That's it. That sounds like an easy out.
My own little personal gripe with that. Oh, that is nice. That is.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's some horror movie. Oh crap. That's a monster type thing. But my one little gripe with that whole apathy thing is in movies and stories and horror and things like that, if you're gonna have a character or two not be affected by that thing, you should explain quite clearly why they are not being affected. Either they came into town last, or it happens when you're sleeping, or when you're awake, or when you're not paying attention, or when you are paying attention. Just make it clear why they are not being affected. Because it was just like Ruby was just the only one not being affected until she was. And I was kind of like, eh.
I mean, there's inferability that she has more resistance to any Grimm because of her eyes, but that's conjecture.
Yeah, like I said, just one little line
in
the book that would have helped.
Yeah. But, and they also, I guess, like, they were also slightly based off Redead from Zelda.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
I guess that was Carrie who kind of added that bit in, because Miles had not played Ocarina of Time. Ugh, I'm getting over a cold right now, so there's just, like, residual...
Mike, it's you.
Phlegm.
It's supposed to mean something to us?
It's been a while. It's been quite a while since I've been sick.
Yeah, it's been a few
I
weeks
made it through
sick.
2 cons without getting sick.
That's true. You have.
That is impressive.
Sicker.
Touche. All right, so episode 1. They right out the gate start with fight scene on top of a train. They just jump us right into it. And there was like a few things in the fight scene that I like was on, like had my little gripes here and there, but like overall it was better than anything in Volume 5. So
No,
I liked Weiss's little sliding on her glyphs. That was good.
Yeah,
That was good.
like all of them actually like did things that made sense to their character. Weiss wasn't just trying to continuously summon just for the sake of, hey, I can do this now, I'm just going to summon.
Somebody brought up a really good question that was since she set all those apathy on fire, can she summon a couple?
Oh.
That is a good question.
Oh.
What would their ability be if she could summon them?
They'd be the apathy still. They keep their ability.
But
did she kill them? Because they kind of were on fire and then they just were still walking.
Yeah, they were still
on fire
along, but
surely they had to die eventually.
They made it like just out the gate, just
that bitch.
But yeah,
that's a good question. They're not going to answer it, but
they might. Who knows? With this season, who knows?
That is true.
We might see in 2 episodes she might be in a fucking like bad spot by one of Salem's people, and all of a sudden the apathy appear.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
That would be.
That's
cool.
how they beat what's his name, Scorpion fucker, Tyrion.
Tyrion.
They just mellow out his fucking insanity with apathy.
They just have to have one by him at all times, and he becomes an outstanding citizen. He becomes a champion of faunus rights.
What? I
have a dream.
Tyrion is Matt Murdock there, lawyer for the faunus. He becomes Daredevil of RWBY.
So all of them.
Does that mean he worships Ozpin? Never mind. Okay, never mind.
No.
The god of light. That is God.
The gods. All right, please. Let's go.
So fight scene. All that good stuff happens, and then we cut to
the train crash.
Not the train crash. Was there something else? I feel like we cut to
Drew
else.
just rewatched the episode, Mike.
Okay.
No, that started off in medias res, so it started off in the middle of the fight, and then it went back to them getting the
train station.
Stuff.
The train station, yes.
It
was Crow writing his letter to Ironwood. And then there's the whole. Also, we haven't seen the gift that Ruby got Yang, and I'm curious if that is actually going to play into something later.
True, we have not.
I'm really curious about that, or if it was just a dumb scene of them being dumb. I'm really hoping it's not.
Gag.
I think it was just them being
possible, but I'm gonna say this though, from the that made me happy about episode 1, especially, it was just the animation of the emotion on Ruby as she was walking with the gift. Like that kind of set the bar for the season for me when it comes to how things are being done animation wise with it, because I really liked her running around the station and then carrying the gift and then walking up to Yang. it set a good tone to me. And they've carried that throughout, because RWBY seems like RWBY again. Past few seasons has kind of been... Yeah.
I agree. She's much better now.
She's been bland. Like
they've had like 3 good moments of her being like a dumb kid in this season.
Yeah, RWBY. Well, not even a dumb kid.
That's why I liked it, like a dumb, happy-go-lucky kid. Exactly.
Yeah.
The innocent, happy-go-lucky kid.
Which I like, because that set RWBY apart from everybody else. Rather than being the serious person, she's just naturally innocent but not naive, which is how she's been portrayed the past few seasons, I feel. So this season is kind of getting her right again, finally. Yeah,
like that moment, her finding the food, and then her seeing Jean's sister was just like, okay,
yes,
we are back to form with this character. So yeah, Jean's train station character. Ticket stuff.
I'm looking forward to hearing how Jean's sister's lifestyle affects the fucking fandom.
I already know, but let's get there.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll get to there apparently.
Then we had Blake saying goodbye to Ilya and Sun. Good moments. I like that. Yeah, you got dumped, Ilya, but she can still be friends. Also, the whole Neptune moment was good.
Yeah. People need to realize that there is such a thing as platonic friendship. There's nothing wrong with 2 people just being friends. A hug is sometimes just a hug. Shut up, everyone.
Nah.
Man, got the look. Got like
getting doxxed as we speak.
All hail Bumblebee! Oh no! I'm infected!
Someone flicks the kill switch and a horde of people just charges DA. Kill.
Oh, that'd be unfortunate.
The one time any of us get swatted, it'll be for a pairing.
And it would be DA too. It would be DA it happens to as well.
It would be funny, like the SWAT team like kicks in, they're like, "Where's the villain?" And or like, "Where's the felon?" And your BG will just be downstairs, like, "Upstairs, officer."
Yep, we knew this day was coming.
It was him, officer.
Hey, what'd he do this time?
I saw it, officer. He robbed the target.
Nah, let's be honest. Your brother's getting ready for fucking MK11. He just go, upstairs. That'd be it.
He's been favoriting shipping kids post. I knew it. Knew this day would come.
That dumb bit.
So, yeah, Blake gives Sun a little kissy kiss on the cheek, and then cut to them on the train, have a few little character moments.
Like trying really hard not to be worse, girl. I'm like, nope, too late.
Yeah, her trying to help out with Yang. I also loved. Go ahead.
There's no one who has not benefited from this volume, including Blake. She's trying, and she's going up from like a 1 to a 2. That's something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved the scene of them in the beds and how it just was, like, obviously symbolism of, you know, their time at school. Same bunks, same everything.
Yeah.
Then the Grim attack, which some people hated it. I really enjoyed the Blake saying, "Oh, this is just my luck," and then Crow, "It's not yours." I liked that line.
So
yeah, that was okay.
The double entendre of Black Cat brings bad luck, and then Crow just is. He is.
Yeah, they're mentioning that a whole lot more, which is good. You know, they're not just sweeping that under the rug like they did in Volume 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And 4.
Not 4. It was a main point.
4, it did the one thing and never again.
Well, because he was, like, dying. He probably didn't have enough aura or whatever the fuck.
He can't turn it off. So
unless he can this week.
Who knows? We still don't have a clear answer on that shit. But yeah.
That's how Crow goes bad. Salem offers to turn his fucking semblance off.
So we cut back to the fight, show some more stuff, kind of time reorients itself. Team Juniper helps out. Dumb Huntsman A just dies.
Dumpstered. Not even dies. Got dumpstered. After talking all that good shit, he got fucking dumpstered.
And then easily the best line of that episode, it was not intended to be funny, but it was hilarious, of, what's the plan, Ruby? Don't let anyone else die. Literally 10 seconds.
That was awful. With that context, it was awful.
Her, like, confidence to the point of being slightly happy. Don't let anyone else die. In the background, you just hear,
Crunch, crunch.
They're getting
branches
eaten.
snagging.
It's like, Ruby, he's not dead yet. Nobody else.
He'll be dead soon.
Ruby, he's not. You know what? Yep, now he's
Else. Nobody else.
Don't question me.
Dumb Huntsman B activates turrets, draws Grim towards passengers. Stuff happens. Tunnel comes up. Dude should have gotten his arm taken off.
Oh, yeah, easily.
But it got severely broken.
Or,
at the very least,
something, something.
Bone should have been popping out, but you know.
Give it another volume and they'll start showing crap like that.
We find out that Grim are attracted to the relics.
For reasons.
Stuff happens. Jean actually using his semblance in combination with Ren's in a legitimately good way, which the one tweet I was thinking about, Versus had retweeted about like what would happen if Jean boosted anyone or like each different character's powers. I'm gonna find that real quick, but yeah, they hide the passengers, they split the train off. Here it is. So Jean's aura amplification list: Ruby equal light speed, Weiss equal summon army, Blake equal 100 shadow clone jutsu, Yang equal 1 punch, Nora equal literally becomes Thor, Ren equal world peace, Oscar equal God knows, Crow equal everyone dies.
Just drop dead.
But yeah, cool fight stuff, cool combo attack with Crow and Ruby, which subtle little thing, but I liked how Ruby was spinning with in a way where her blade was the bottom edge of the blade was facing forward because that's where her edge is. And then Crow's was facing outward where his edge is. Like, there's actual attention to detail in the fight scene.
Yep.
Not Blake shadow cloning in the path of Adam's blade.
It's fine. That was volume 5. It doesn't count.
Retconned. It didn't exist.
So yeah, we get the train crash.
Train trash.
And then Maria appears. And second episode.
Best character appears.
Yes.
Easy.
Second
That's in
episode.
a couple episodes, but you know, whatever. We're cool.
So we watched the first 2 episodes all together. When we were at Youmacon. And second episode starts. We're all sitting together. First scene, Cinder.
The salt.
Unbelievable.
It was that. She survives. She starts crawling out of this pool. She looks up. Didn't even fall that far.
Nope.
For a Ruby's sake, like Ruby character's sake. It looks like a bottomless pit, but it only looks like it was like, what, 500, 1,000 feet?
Maybe.
At a max. And she landed frozen in water, so I guess like
very quickly.
That broke her fall, air quotes.
For goddess-made ice, yeah, it thawed a little quick.
And then
you would have thought that what's her name would have checked to see if she was actually dead or.
Well,
yeah, you think Raven would have checked? Yeah.
She thought it was a bottomless pit, but then the gods were like, "We're gonna mess with this bitch for a little bit."
And then
she just light a torch. Like, yeah, let's see how
Why
far.
did she send a fireball down?
Shoot a fireball! Yeah.
Cinder then crawls out, tries to make fire, gets pissed, slams the ground, which cracks open the thinnest cave wall in the world.
The thinnest mountain ever.
It's just like, oh, they could have just drilled their way into this mountain and then gotten the relic that way, but
jumped up.
And we know from the trailers there's one character that can float and or fly.
Which I'm still thinking of Cinder.
And Cinder can fly.
He could have punched the wall if he really wanted to.
So we have confirmation that she can A, fly, and B, punch through cave walls. She could have easily gotten to the relic door. But they would have needed Raven. Anyways, then she stumbles out, and everyone in the intro video was like, oh, the hooded character. It has to be Neo, it has to be Neo. The hat was there. Crawls out. Some lady goes, my goodness, are you okay? Cinder looks up. It's the outfit from the intro. DA again. Salt.
The salt was so strong.
I could have seasoned every burger in the world with my salt.
It was
His
fantastic.
His face was literally priceless. He was mad.
And from there,
I got to see it.
Yeah. And from there, we cut back to RWBY. They, are trying to get out of the snow and what have you. And they have start to have a conversation with Ozpin Oscar. And I'm trying to think of like specific, because I know at some point it cuts back to Cinder. I just don't remember where.
Oh, she was talking to Lucy Christian.
Yeah.
No, right after the first scene, they cut back in the past where they're in the house and they're talking about what the relic
does. Yes.
Oscar the liar.
Yeah. So
Ozpin the liar.
Yeah, it goes to Ozpin explaining what the relic does, which it can grant. Or you can ask. I was going to say wishes. You can ask it 3 questions every 100 years, and it will give you an answer if it has already happened. It can't predict the future, but it can tell you anything that has been. So we kind of get that establishing, and then we cut back to Cinder. She is visiting. What's the character's name?
I think it's
can't
Little
remember.
Miss.
It's just Lucy Christian.
I mean, it's supposed to be like Little Miss Muffet. Like,
I think her name is just literally Little Miss.
Yeah, it's a little mess.
Who I enjoyed her character for the brief. Little Miss Malachite.
Oh.
So she has like a spy network. Basically, what's his face? Littlefinger from not Littlefinger. Fuck.
Baelish.
Yeah, Baelish from Game of Thrones. So she has her little spiders that go around and get information and what have you. So I originally thought that Neo was going to be a member of her spy network.
I had given up hope.
But so she asked for the whereabouts of RWBY and the gang, and then I think there's like one of the lines to me where just like, hey, Cinder did something evil. Like, it was assumed that she killed the woman and stole her clothes, but when she tosses her all the money, and he's like, oh, it looks like your life savings, and then she just goes, it was somebody's. Like, that to me, it was just like, okay, I like that line. And she's like...
And then she didn't deliver it in her horrible, bad voice. She's, like I said before, she's no longer her terrible, sultry accent, terrible acting bullcrap. She's now just a normal bad actress. And that's just rank and file with RWBY. Everyone's either okay or bad. And then you got Vic Mignogna.
You are calling Lucy Christian okay?
Yeah, you know what I mean. You got your professionals, and then you got everybody who's okay, and then you got everybody who's bad.
I was about to say, man, like, that's like your one and only. Like, her and Tara Strong, I feel like, are put above.
Absolutely, screw Vic. Vic's a nice man.
Allegedly.
So then we cut back to the train crash. They're kind of collecting themselves.
Scavenging supplies.
RWBY finds the relic. And then
The relic can shrink and grow. That was a complaint that everybody had, and now it's gone. Hey, shut up and wait, everybody. I'm just saying.
It's just the cold. It does that.
Then it gets shy.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't want to ask and answer any questions today. Ozpin starts kind of giving more stuff about how, I was speaking in half-truths and only partially giving out information because I didn't want to increase the anxiety, which would bring about the Grim. And Weiss had best line of this episode of, I am so tired of people telling me what's best for me. Great line.
No, I like the whole "we can help you," and I like when Oz is just like, you don't think that Leo said that as well?
Was the first.
Yeah, that I really like that. That shows me, hey, he trusted people in the past, and then guess what happens? And now he's not trusted anybody. That informs his entire character, and I love that.
So he realizes the relic's gone, and Ruby has it, and then she asks, like,
hey, Ruby, can you give that back real quick? No problems here. I'm not ordering you. I'm not forcing you. Just, give it back or else.
Relics are one hell of a drug. So she asks him, like, all the stuff he said about humanity. Was that all a lie too? And he's just like, nah, I need it. But then he stops, and then it's like, oh, Oscar actually has some backbone. He actually is a person and not meat suit. So he stops Ozpin from trying to take it from her, informs Ruby of the name of the spirit inside of the relic, which is Jin, and she says the name, which summons Colleen Clinkenbeard. Also,
absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, fucking, like, any not safe for work artists were just like, yes, when they saw Jin. Which, I will say, nice, at least some foresight of Jin was the statue that was in the main lobby of Haven Academy.
Oh yeah, she wasn't she?
It was the statue fountain thing that was the elevator.
Oh, right there. Right there. It's almost like they had this plan. Wait a little bit. Quick question about the whole genie thing. They said that every 100 years you get 3 questions, blah, blah, blah. Does that, if you ask one question, does the time start, or does it start right when you ask all 3?
We have not gotten an answer to that yet.
Explained.
Yeah, that has not been explained yet.
I think it'll be explained if they need 2 more questions. They'll be like, hey, the 100 years are up. You get 2 more questions.
But yeah, like, so Jin says there's 2 more questions. So obviously one has been asked, and a lot of people are thinking that it was Raven who asked that question.
No.
And really?
No, I'm saying it wasn't Raven.
That's what he's saying. To. What do you mean?
I know. I'm referring to him thinking, oh, everybody thought it was Raven, as in the fandom. Because I've seen people also say that.
So who do you think asked it then?
We already know. I thought it was Raven too.
I don't know who did it, so say.
Ozpin. Ozpin asked Jin, how do I kill Salem? And
no, he asked 3. That was like in one of his many past lives, though. He asked 3 questions in a row.
Did he?
Yes.
He asked, where are the other relics? How do I kill Salem? And
I thought that all counted as one. Never mind then.
So to me, it could very well have been Raven, and that's why she vehemently hates Ozpin, because she as well saw that they were fighting a supposedly winless war.
What powers they have as well. That was the third one.
Yeah. So she, Ruby asked, what is Ozpin hiding?
How did he know his name? How did Ozpin know Jin's name if that's the only way to summon her?
He probably got told by the God of Light.
That's, yeah.
probably. Quit asking legitimate questions, Drew.
I'm just curious. Still best.
Well,
He's just sitting at the relic like Stacy, Jennifer, Rebecca, Zelda.
I could go for some gin. You pause?
Oh yes, he was an alcoholic in one life, so that could have been how it happened.
It's like he spent an entire lifetime, one of his lifetimes, just repeating names in front of this fucking lamp.
I can see it.
That's gonna
Ashley,
be a RWBY costume.
Bashley, Cashley, Dashley.
Rick Ashley. The genie just starts playing. We're no strangers to love. Ooh, hidden feature. Okay. So yeah, then Ozpin charges Ruby, and then awesome, like, to me, like the whole transition through that and into the end of the episode. Also, like, two things that people shippers noted was when Crow like went up, he was like, "Hey guys," Weiss immediately points sword at Crow. And everyone's just like, she is defending waifu.
No.
No.
She's
All of
just
them
being
are
defensive of
defending
her
her.
friends. It did everything doesn't have to be a freaking kissy face lesbian. I hate it. Shut up, everyone.
Blake and Yang were also defending her. So what?
Yeah, Blake
Pollination?
Blake was about to pull on them too. So everybody, shut up.
But only one of them actually pulled their weapon.
No, Blake reached back for her sword. Yang was
Reached
ready to throw
back.
it out.
Did not pull it out.
Weiss pulled it out.
Yeah.
Weiss was like, "I'll cut you. You don't want none of this."
And I do like Crow, like, actually showing like favor to Ruby. Just do what you think is best, kiddo. I enjoyed that as well.
And also, Yang had her fists up, and those are her weapons, so she was defending her as well. It's almost like everyone was defending Ruby.
That's what I was saying.
They're
Nope.
friends.
Nah,
Nope.
Pollination.
Wait, no!
I'm
Pollination,
just
man.
shutting
That's the
down
shit.
every single ship. Kill it all. Except for Futaba and Yusuke. That's all. I'm cool with that. But everything else is dead.
Just let it die. Let the moon kill everything.
So then it's the dream
God.
sequence, genie sequence starts, introducing a lady stuck in a tower by the name of Salem. So we got the hint that Salem was human at one point. And the next episode
Salem.
is a fucking long episode for Ruby. It was a full-fledged anime episode. It was 24 minutes.
Yeah.
24 minutes.
So,
I was
basic.
so happy when I saw that. I was like, yeah, they ain't skipping none of this crap. And
And the
they
next
just
episode.
jam-packed it all.
So, we like Salem, lady stuck in a tower. Turns out in this world, everyone can use magic.
Back in the day.
Yep, she was like trapped there, and then there was a gallant warrior who I think they made a point, which I think a lot of people were questioning some of like Ozpin's motives later on in the episode. They made a point to say that he didn't seek fame or glory, he just always strived to do what's right. He just, like, it was in his soul to do what's right.
Yeah.
So he went to go save Salem, not because, oh, it's a damsel, but because, hey, this lady's trapped. I need to... She is distressed. Just like, I need to save this person. So he gets to her. They both fight their way out. Which really, in my head, I guess, like, they needed two people to fight their way out. But, like, once they showed her doing magic to escape, I'm like, well, couldn't she have...
Well, they established that other people can do magic too. It wasn't just them.
I'm aware. I'm just saying that, could she have magicked her way out as well?
No, I think that Oz was just particularly strong, and it's just one and one make two.
Okay.
And if
Why try it myself if I'm gonna die? Hey, this
Yeah.
dude made it here, so he's good enough to get us out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they get out, fall in love, but Ozma is taken pretty dang quickly by illness. So Salem goes
What
to
a way
the
to go.
which is
all the
again
magic in the world. He gets sick. Don't we have a spell for this? No.
well,
Fire!
thing.
No!
it's kind of good to see them do that, though. Feel like even the mightiest can fall to a germ. It's kind of grounding in a way.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody is infallible, no matter how strong.
It was the whole Goku got the heart virus thing, kind of like in vein of that.
Yeah, it's important to do that.
All right.
So we get, then she goes and visits the God of Light, who we then see, and I was initially underwhelmed. Because it was just white, yellow dude with horns. Glowy dude with horns. So she goes and begs to bring Ozma back, and he goes, yo, no, there's a balance to this shit. And she gets angry and says, that's not fair. And he's like, all right, be gone, thought. Sends her away.
Look, I ain't got time for this. I got a tree to take care of. Everyone and everything, so...
Gonna be meeting my brother for...
take care of people here. Not out there.
I'm gonna be meeting my brother for poker in about 15 seconds, and I can get there really quickly, but, you know, bye. So then she decides, okay, I'm gonna go visit the brother. The God of Darkness. He comes out in the, the animation of him coming out of the pool reminded me of Wiggly Arm Salem from last volume, initially.
Yeah.
But then she begs for favor, with Grimm surrounding her, and then he goes, oh, okay, I'll do it. Snaps his fingers, Ozma's back to life. She's all happy. They turn around. Big Brother's there. He goes, yo, what are you doing? You're going against the law, the law and order of the land, brother. Snaps fingers. Ozma dies. He's like, she came to me. Ozma's back.
Well, she came to me first. Snaps the finger. You said you came to me first. You lied? That hurts my feelings. Everyone dies.
I love that, just that brief moments of existence for Ozma. I was like, ah! Oh! Just immediate death, revive. I was hoping that come into play a little more of really fucking with him, but it didn't happen. So
it will achieve.
They also at that point then turned into their true selves, which were a traditional medieval dragon and then a Shenlong looking motherfucking dragon, which I was like, okay, this is better.
Much better.
Yes. So yeah, little brother was just like, oh, so she just
she was just using me.
Yeah, she's just using me? Okay. Be gone, thought. She goes away again. So then, oh no, they then throw her.
Ozpin.
Yeah, kills Ozpin, and then they're like, all right, you didn't learn your lesson. So they throw her into the pool of light, which makes her immortal. So she can never die. She can never join Ozma in the afterlife. Which now, to me, because, here and there, depending on fiction or whatever, you always wonder, is there an afterlife? Is there, a heaven in this universe? And that was a confirmation, which was good.
That's a definitive yes.
Yeah.
That is a definitive yes.
Question.
If all she wanted was to see Ozma again, why didn't the God of Light just tell his brother, hey, if she really wants to be with her boyfriend that badly, just kill her. Send her to the afterlife.
No.
I think it was a... Killing, I think, is a last... smiting is a last option for a god. In my head is different things. Smiting is a big deal. A big deal. And then...
Well, and also that's not what she wanted. She wanted him to be alive. And,
yeah.
If killing herself was an option, she would have just done it.
Yeah.
She tried.
She didn't I don't think... Yeah, after. She didn't even think that was an option, because I don't think she even knew there was an afterlife.
Never mind. Go on.
So, yeah, she realizes, oh yeah, I'm seriously immortal, because she tries stabbing herself. And then she goes, oh, but the gods did fight, briefly, so they can be turned against each other. So she goes and rallies all these different kingdoms of man. She rallied Gondor, she rallied Rohan. She showed off her immortality and saying this power can be yours if you go and destroy the gods. So she summons an army. They go and fight the gods. Both Big Bro and Little Bro are at the light pool. They try to use magic against them, and then God of Darkness just absorbs all of it, and he's just like, "You're using my toys against me?"
That's not cool, y'all.
Snap! Everyone dead. Everyone except Salem is dead. Humanity is erased. And then basically they're like, so
just going, that's too far, man.
no, half. So the guys are just like, well, this experiment was fun. Peace. And
Bye.
then they Big Bro goes away. The God of Darkness basically was just like, well, now since you're still immortal, you just have to live with this forever.
Blows
See ya.
up the moon for seemingly no reason.
He flies away. He flies into the moon, though, and that's why the moon is blown up. The God of Darkness's exit.
Shut up, everybody. There's your answer. Now
There's your
shut
answer.
up.
Booyah,
And then,
booyah.
in that point, shards of the moon fall and hit the Earth, which now this started the many a theory about dust. So the safe answer is, oh, it's just moon shards. Like, the God of Darkness hit the moon, so some of his power and magic hit the moon shards, and then they crash into the Earth. Other people think it might be the literal dust of all the people that he murdered.
It's all the souls crystallized.
So I like to think it's a little column A, a little column B.
I'm going, that's way too dark for Ruby.
I don't know.
After
They
the
just
apathy,
started showing blood and beheadings. They're not going.
Oh yeah, we forgot to
"You're
fucking
using
talk.
people.
We forgot to talk about Adam in his brief 5 seconds that he was in episode 1.
No, we didn't.
No,
We're
we
moving
didn't.
on.
He just murdered everybody in the throne room, got angry at Blake, yelled. Also,
Haven't
Blake,
seen him since.
besides potential like hallucinations,
He could come back this volume.
Blake supposedly saw him on the train that was Blake
Oh.
when she was trying to cut the train.
He's definitely coming back. He's in the intro. They're not just
Yeah.
gonna do like one scene. You're out of here.
Yeah.
But so then it cuts to Ozma apparently like just being happy with afterlife. Just
No. Before that, it was.
Oh, she dived in. Yeah.
Yeah.
She thought, okay, if the pool of darkness
If
or pool of light,
can-
pool of life gave me immortality, then the pool of grim could
Take it away.
might take it away. She jumps into the pool. It just corrupts her with everlasting hate and fury.
and super sick eyes.
Yep. And super pale skin. Paler skin. Then it cuts to Ozma and the God of Light saying, yo,
Whoops.
Hey, you remember that that balance I mentioned before? Yeah.
That would be so great. It's like the God of Light just like shows up and he's just like, hey. It's like gives him the fonts. Oh, yeah. Shit got real fucked while you were gone.
You know everybody that you knew and loved. Well, turn around because they're here. Except for Salem. Go take care of that, please.
So he says to him,
That all life and death thing, I'm willing
Like-
to break it. Just
so seemingly like thousands of years have passed by, I would assume.
life
that we can
started anew on Remnant somehow.
Yeah. So, the original name of the world we don't know because the gods kind of said, like,
It's
yeah.
a remnant of what it once was.
Yep. How we got the name?
Yep, I love that. And also, semblances, there's semblances of the magic that people used to have. It's all coming together. It's super sick. I like it.
God, my throat. He basically says, okay, it's been a while. Me and the God of Darkness have left. We will return, however, if humanity can get its shit together. So I'm gonna send you back. You're gonna be in a new body, and you're going to be constantly reincarnating into different bodies. And then once you think you guys got your shit together, gather the 4 relics, summon us, and then we will judge you. And if you are not deemed worthy, everybody's getting Thanos snapped.
Again.
Nuke. So that happened. He immediately gets reincarnated in like a war or a Grim attack. Sorry. So this dude like is like running away from Grim. All of a sudden, Ozma snaps in, beats the shit out of the Grim, and he goes, "Holy fuck! How did I do that?" And then it kind of goes into him like learning about what has happened. Apparently, humanity is returned. No magic, and then there are these animal-human hybrids called Faunus, which to me, that just like immediately explains Faunus. It's like, okay, what life was left in the world? That's why Faunus exists.
Yep.
Apparently humanity decided to procreate with other things.
Potentially not. It could have just been a monkey that evolved incorrectly in the end.
Don't ruin my headcanon.
I'm not shipping a fish and a man again.
Again.
That's a dark part
again.
of my life.
We're born.
Human and birds, however, that's where my shit's at.
Yeah. You're right in that.
I mean, we could talk to the community that current esports champion of the year, Sonic Fox, belongs to, and he might have different feelings on that, but you know. So he basically finds out about all this stuff. Salem had his cane. Then he hears rumors about this witch in the woods. Probably in the West, if I had to assume. And goes to see the witch. It's Salem. They reconnect with leaving out details. So the start of his half-truths began basically at the beginning.
Same as hers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they talk things over, and then he's just saying, like, okay, we have to, get humanity's shit together. She's like, okay, we'll do that by ruling them. So they fuck up a Grim, like, implode it by imploding it.
Yeah, they fucking nuked that shit.
So they just, like, come in as these, like, divine saviors. Basically, with the gods gone, the next powerful beings kind of usurp that mantle. So they became gods. So they grew to kind of have a kingdom, start have a castle, and then they have a family. 4 little girls who are conveniently color-coded to the seasons.
Gross.
That means nothing. Moving along.
Yeah.
Nah.
So many people, I've seen like different things where it's like, oh, maybe it's like the RWBY girls and they're all descent. I'm like, no.
Literally the maidens. Shut up.
It's just the maidens.
They couldn't make it any more clear.
Yeah.
They got magic. They're color coded. Shut up.
Everybody just wants the RWBY girls to be the next maidens. That's all they want. So they're reaching hard.
And to me, like that, like the combination of both of their plagues, basically. Ozma's reincarnation, and then, like, immortalness and power and magic of Salem. There, you got a combination of their traits and how the power passes on, and Salem being a woman. Reincarnation, woman. Terrible.
Awful.
But, so yeah, the little girls could use magic. But then Salem, I guess, started getting crueler. Ozma realizes, yo, shit ain't right. Which a lot of people, like, the things that I saw were like, well, like, why did Ozma, like, seem to have second guesses? Like, things seemed to be, like, air quotes working, and, like, why did him and Salem have to be driven to that? And like, to me, it was answered in the first description of his character, that he was compelled to do what's right at all times.
Yeah.
So, he explains the shit about the gods and the judgment, and then Salem just gets irrationally angry and seemingly tries to kills Ozpin, but potentially kills her children too?
Accidentally, probably.
Also, they had giant heads.
Yeah.
The children.
And leave them alone.
They're special.
That was a complaint about that episode. It was just like, it's like someone put big head mode on their children. Is what it looked like.
Yeah, I remember I remember watching it, and right after they fought, and then there was a huge explosion. One of the first things they showed before they showed Oz crawling away with like a stuffed animal, like lying on his side, sort of burnt. So I think that was sort of like a, we're not gonna show it, but yeah, you gotta know
Those
what
kids
happened.
are dead.
So he gets killed, gets reincarnated, and it goes on to say yeah.
He got smash broed.
He got Sakurai.
So then he gets reincarnated, and then I love how they make it a point where it's like he just boozed around for a number of lifetimes. It's like he needed to, because like I was concerned just because of the intro that like those were the only lifetimes that he's lived. It's like it really hasn't been that long. It was like, no, it has been like hundreds of years, legitimately hundreds of years, which made me happy. And then he finally decides, okay, got to get my shit together. And then apparently, like, even still, like, lives the lives of some of his people, because, like, he had a family with his one life. But then, like, it goes to show it's like he hides his cane, re-gets his cane in the next life, and cycle continues. And then he started hunting the relics, and then asked his questions of where are the other relics?
What do they do?
What do they do? And then, can I defeat... Or how do I defeat Salem?
How do I defeat
kill?
Salem?
Yeah.
Kill.
And she says, you can't.
You can't kill Salem. Yep.
You gotta pick your words carefully. He said, I'll do I. And she said, you can't. I love that.
Yeah, I'm curious if...
Gotta say, how can Salem be defeated?
Well, it was answered in the answered by the gods, where it's like only once you understand like the meaning of life and balance will you find rest. It's not going to be by killing her. It's going to make it's to make you got to make her feel.
Ruby's gonna make her feel.
Yep.
Via Naruto.
Feel
Or
these
just
eyes.
vaporize her with his eyes. You
Um,
have to do this. No. Okay, then. Just Cyclops her.
So we get then Ozpin. It cuts back to Ozpin kneeling in the snow as Oscar.
Oh, really, really quick. Going
Go ahead.
back to that. Got a question about Oz. Now, I thinking back to the world of remnants.
That should be good.
When they were
really
described,
shouldn't.
yeah,
If the fandom forgot about them, it's best for you to forget them too.
no, this is just a small thing. When they were talking about the whole history of the world, they said that the King of Vale, clad only with a cane and a crown, ruled blah 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 blah. One of the relics is a crown, and of course we got
The other is
But
it was a crown, the lantern, a sword.
in a spear.
Was it a spear?
Staff. It's some
Like
kind of pole arm.
Let me see. Ruby relic.
Yeah, I think that he was just like, in order to sort of foster some sort of peace, he was like, "Hey, everybody, chill out, or the Grimm are gonna get you." And then once the gods come back, it's like, "Hey, see, everybody's chill, everybody's cool." And that was sort of like Plan A for a while.
Yeah. So yeah, one of them was a crown. So yeah, Kane. Yeah. So yeah, like I don't think it's any stretch to say that Ozpin was the king. One of his previous lives.
Well, Ozpin in Volume 4 did say he started the schools, so that's a hard confirmation right there.
Yeah. So
Unless he was lying.
True.
We
Strong possibility.
We don't know. We gotta we take 15% of what he says as truth.
Yeah.
So cut back to next episode. They're all very angry.
Righteously so.
Crow Falcon punches Oscar. Poor Oscar. Just has again, he has to be the meat sack.
Yep. Big Crow says my favorite line in the whole volume so far.
Oh, what a great line.
Meeting you was the worst luck I've ever had.
Not that line. I was talking about later when Oz is just like, am I just gonna become another one of his lies? And Ruby's like, no, of course not. And Crow just goes, he just goes, don't lie to him, Ruby. We're better than that. Yo!
Jesus.
That was really fucking good.
So yeah, they all are obviously very angry, and then Ozpin decides to lock himself away.
Ghost cries in a corner.
Yeah. So, but before that reveals that he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't know what to do anymore. I'm sure it was like he kind of hedged a lot of bets on the towers and the schools, and since that kind of fucked up, just like kind of wandering now.
Just grab something and hope that somehow a plan comes together.
Mm-hmm. So they start.
Fake it till you make it.
So they start wandering, and I actually. This was like the
this
low
was an
point
insanely short episode. I think it was like 10 minutes.
It was 15 minutes.
Because, this was so then it cuts away to the evildoers. Emerald, Mercury, and Hazel arrive back at Cinder's hideaway, which I'm glad they showed like a plane flying in. It's like, all right. They actually have to transport to get there.
It's not like another dimension.
Yeah. So they walk in, and then Tyrion greets them, being all crazy, which just added touch that I enjoyed was him just cutting himself for shits and giggles. But
then they just walk away. He's just laughing maniacally for 15 minutes. That didn't go on for too long. We got it. We got it way before.
So I'm guessing he probably just now has attachments for his tail. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen now.
Probably, yeah.
It's like different weapons.
Watts is building something for him.
So then we cut in.
Grimtail.
So then we cut through. We then cut into the meeting room. And Salem, angry that the plan failed, and she questions them, saying, who is responsible for your failure? And Hazel then decides to take responsibility, and then Salem flips the table into Tyrion.
Right into Tyrion. You get him out of here.
Just wham!
That wouldn't be fair, would it?
Some demon tendrils out from the floor and like basically just fucking with, which again, I saw this post-it, and to me it makes sense. Like, Hazel seems to be acting very fatherly brotherly towards Emerald, because she's definitely like, fuck, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up to be with Cinder. So he's protecting them, and he can because he can't feel pain. So just like any punishment, he's like, yo, give it to me. Like, I can take this.
Yeah, that made me like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's some character stuff that I like.
Mm-hmm. So she's just saying, like, who is at fault? Girl, whose fault was it? And then Emerald finally says, Cinder. It was Cinder's fault. And then Salem reveals that she knows that Cinder is alive, which explains something, very post after the fact about Volume 5 that I'll talk about once we get to the episode 7. So she knows she's alive, but then she's like, she needs to be on her own for a while.
She needs to think about what she did.
Yeah. And then Hazel goes, oh, one more thing.
Oops.
Demon tendrils start coming up again. Like,
start sweating a little bit. Oh, get out of here. One more thing. That's a very nice dress, ma'am. That's all. Goodbye. Oz back. as he's running away.
Windows are cracking. He's just like, okay, everybody get out.
We need to leave.
Right now.
He mentions
Oz. What I liked when they delivered that line, when they said Oz is back, you just hear already from Tyrion. Like, they did not expect it to be that soon. So that shows that there's supposed to be, at least, a lag time. It's not usually immediate. So this is special.
Well, you think about it, too, most of the lives that we were shown, he was an adult. So he probably waited to let these people live their lives, but just shit's so bad right now, he's like, fuck, Oscar, we need to go. We need a boogie, dude.
It's possible.
So he probably just hopped in their head and laid dormant for a little bit, get their personalities, and so he could take them over without being really noticed.
Yeah.
So a non-assuming leech.
Just slowly, like, alter their will. Be like, I think I want waffles today. I think you want pancakes. Who said that? I'm your conscience. Get pancakes.
I don't...
But waffles are better than pancakes.
But I don't like pancakes. Yeah, you do now. You like pancakes.
I want to play video games. No, you need to go training.
But I don't like guns. Guns are great. Everything should be a gun. What?
You're right. Make that a law.
Trust me, you will be rich.
Little babies with pacifier guns.
With each suck is a fire of a Derringer round.
It sucks. Get it out of here.
Hey, get it? Pacifiers.
Wow.
Like, no.
So, I forgot where we left off. It was, evil people. Cinder gets angry, windows crack, and then, like, they all leave, but then she calms down. And I would have been happy if they left it there. Where it was more of a quiet rage.
Yeah. But
that's not her.
Either them or them closing the door, and then you just hear all the cracks you need to see.
I
would have liked that. Yeah, I was hoping for that.
I don't know.
We didn't need to see her rage. We could have just heard it.
I felt that at least the Salem we knew before the flashbacks seemed to be very calm, collected, and just had, like, maniacal. Like, she approached each of the members of her team in different ways to get them to do her bidding. So I never thought she was angry. Ever, like, ragey.
But now they came out and said, no, she's literally the embodiment of anger and rage.
And also, hey, this is the one thing that makes her mad is Oz, and that makes more sense. As opposed to just her plans failing and she gets mad. No, this decades, centuries-long war, hey, is starting up again.
He also tried to take the kids and the alimony.
I'm not paying.
That's what he was trying to say when he said I. I'm not paying. Oh no! My child support.
I'm gonna be sad if there's a moment between those two and he just goes to say something like, I tried to say I still love you.
I mean,
I can see them trying to pull that.
What I'm hoping for more is like in the story mode near the end of Injustice 2, where Batman and Superman have that moment, and Batman says, I miss the people we were back then. And Superman goes, me too. And then just punches him. I'm hoping for something like that between them. Where Ozpin's like, I still love you, you know? And Salem goes, me too. Zap!
Yeah, but he lost to freaking Cinder. He's lost most of his magic. He's got no chance with Salem.
Oh no, not in his current, not whatsoever.
He's also in the body of a 14-year-old boy, so
yeah, he's getting vaporized again.
Little did we know that this kid's semblance is that he's technically the god of light reborn.
I channel the light. It compels me.
He just says that shit.
Yep.
Let's see. Yep. Nope. Okay.
Okay.
Then from there, we also forgot them, the Ruby gang, they find a seemingly abandoned farm called Brunswick Farms, which I chuckled at just because my hometown is Brunswick. So I was like, ah!
Wow.
That would explain the grim they found there.
You got out in a time.
How many mic drops can you do, Mike?
It's fine.
Uh-huh.
So then...
Everything exists.
So... Next episode...
Oh, you know what next episode is.
Oh, I know what next episode is.
So nothing happened. No characters returned.
Yeah, nothing happened
We
at all.
learned that Bumblebee is canon. It's fine.
So,
Bumblebee is in the show.
It is. So, Cinder, it's been apparently a week. That was the whole thing. Little Miss Malachi was like, we'll find him in a week, but she already knew where Team RWBY was heading, but she wanted to know if anyone was looking for Cinder. So, Cinder goes back to meet her. She says they're heading over here. They're heading over to Argus, and then Cinder's about to leave, and then Miss Malachi is like, yo, hey, Cinder. She's like, oh, they know. And she was just like, it's weird that one client would bring double the price. And then Neo appears. Cue the internet's collective cries of joy.
Now, I'm going to say a couple things really, really quickly about this.
Mm.
Number one, it's just a couple negatives. Number one, I would have liked a redesign. I don't like if she's just the exact same, except for with the hat. Maybe a new color, same coat and everything, just maybe a new color or something. And that was one thing that irked me a little bit. Number two, my favorite moment in the first Neo fight was the end where she got on her head and did the big Rey Mysterio twisty DDT up into the air. That was my favorite moment. She didn't do anything like that, so that was kind of like, eh. But other than that,
I have one tiny complaint. And it's a subtle thing. Her eyes have not switched colors yet.
Yeah.
but they only did that like twice.
Well, they did it a bunch. They did it a bunch between Volume 2 and 3.
I remember twice.
They did it a whole bunch in the fights with Yang. They did it when she was
once in a fight with Yang. I've seen
no.
enough.
Her eyes switched when she first walks up to Yang, and then when Raven appears, both of her eyes go stark white.
But that's not switching eye colors. I thought you meant
it's switching eye colors. One of her eyes is brown.
I thought you meant switching from pink to brown, left to right.
No. I mean in general.
Oh no!
Just every time she blinked, like her eyes would shift colors. And then in Volume 3,
every time.
In Volume 3, when she was fighting with Cinder, when she like bends down and blinks at the dude who she kicks in the face, when she's flying the jet, the ambulance jet, and then I think once or twice in the fight with Roman and Ruby. So it's happened a bunch. And it's just like a little quirk that I liked about her character, and it hasn't happened yet.
I was always under the impression she only changed her eyes whenever she activated her semblance, which we kind of know what it is now, maybe?
No, we have no fucking idea.
But yeah, so Neo reappears. Fight scene.
Screw you, Versus, for spoiling that. I don't know why you thought that would be okay, but okay, that's fine.
Hey, I just did what Rolf asked me.
What?
Oh.
I didn't say they revealed fucking the Neo thing.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. Fuck you mean?
Yeah, you did.
Do we have a message? Should we get a screenshot?
Yeah, no, prove that shit.
Alright.
Hold the fuck on.
Where does the rage truly lie?
Yes, where do I point my anger?
So, fight scene. Up until that point, best in a really, really, really long time.
Indeed.
Fight scene was quite literally fire. My favorite moment of that fight being Cinder's fire punch and Neo barely dodging it and just like cutting to her face, watching it go by. I was like, ooh, that's some good shit. And just her using her defensive style, countering stuff, people in the background not moving around
at all.
Like to me, like if the camera's moving enough where it's like, unless you're directly looking at these people, they're just stiff still, sure, fine, but just have them there. Just have them there. Consistency.
Yeah, her just shattering it to pieces is so good. Her just floating around just so softly and just dodging. She's so good. And I never noticed that she had really, really light green eyeshadow. Everything about Neo is amazing. And then she just starts hucking ashtrays at her.
Yeah. And then finally, once
Such an amazing fight. I really like. I don't know how much because I never really paid attention to this, but when they sort of kick really, really fast, there's like a speed line on the kick, a white speed line. I'm like, oh yeah, that really sort of adds impact to that.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like in like a lot of anime and stuff, it's just a subtle animation technique that just seems to add force to any blow.
Yeah.
And then Miss Malachite has them go outside, which immediately hard cuts to Cinder just flying out a window.
And then Neo hits the ground, it just shatters. I love the shattering.
And then, like, Cinder's just like, oh, you seem to have gotten stronger, yada yada this. Fires casually, flames behind her. Umbrella hit, Umbrella pulls away. Roman's hat.
That is such a great shot, and it is still my wallpaper.
And then, they keep fighting, but Cinder was just saying, which it is a non-essential continuity error, but like it means absolutely nothing. But like, unless it happened off screen in a very brief moment, and Roman even cared to mention Ruby to Cinder, why does she know Little Red? Tiny, insignificant thing, but that just popped into my head. There's a couple of moments in Red vs. Blue where that happened, where it's just like, in the grand scheme of things, it meant absolutely nothing, but it was just like, that never, like, Griff never talked to this person in order for him to say this joke. Like, just a little thing like that.
Found it, you lying shitter.
Yeah, I found it too.
Yeah,
right.
I did not tell you to. You sent me a screen cap of Neo, and I said, oh, DA. And then you go, be right back, Twitter needs me. You did it on your own.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, don't throw that shit at me, motherfucker. She's trying to throw the shade at me. I admit when I sabotage people. I admit when I do that shit.
Okay.
Even if Ralph told you to, why would you?
I wasn't aware.
He even said the deed is done.
You were proud.
He sent a gif of a bear taking a seat in a very small chair, saying, "This gon' be good."
That was me anticipating his reaction when he saw the episode.
The reaction was gold because I've seen her outside of. Oh, she's fighting. That's great. The moment was seeing her for the first time, which I saw standing in line to give blood.
Whoever's getting that blood is just getting NaCl. Moment. It's not getting hemoglobin.
They're just getting acid.
Was this the test dummy situation?
The test dummy?
Where you were giving blood and then it was a new person doing it?
No. This was a couple weeks ago where I have told the story and then Pro said to wait and I never got to it on the podcast. But what happened was I was sitting there, I saw that picture. I think it was like 10 minutes later, they called me into the room where they checked your blood pressure and your pulse and stuff. They were like, your pulse is a little high. Yeah, it is.
I told Drew what you said on the podcast, how you wanted to elbow him in the throat the next time you saw him.
Yeah, furious. Absolutely furious. That was my moment and it was taken away from me.
Way to go, Drew. Way to go. Damn Floridians. This is why we got.
But going back to the episode, they still haven't released that song, and I'm pissed.
Oh, they won't. They won't release it until the volume's already over.
Album drops. Yeah.
When?
after the volume.
After the season's over.
Close to probably when the Blu-ray comes out.
Yeah.
Dude, you're telling me every volume I love the music and I gotta wait. So motherfucker, you're waiting.
Okay, DA. Mike doesn't usually get those volumes until maybe a little bit before our summer hangout for the judging.
Oh boy.
The last volume that I got, because fuck volume 5. That had no music. Volume 4 came out. I know when it came out. It was in July, because it was when I went on my family vacation with my dad and my stepfamily. Because that's I remember remembering listening to this Life Is Mine while on the toilet at the house that we were staying at. I just remember
you're not going to see it until beginning of midsummer.
That's some garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir, my friend. Preaching to the choir.
Why can't they just drop an iTunes link for like $1 or something?
Nope. Whole album. It's probably a rights deal with Jeff Williams.
Because, actually what it is that they don't make the full songs for the episode.
Oh.
So they make enough for the episode, and then they go back and complete it.
That makes sense.
But yeah, there's been a lot of fucking good music this volume. Episode 1, this fight, this last episode, the intro.
See, the intro I'm met on.
What?
I'm not big on the intro song.
Dude, I really like the intro. It's been my favorite intro since Volume 3.
Yeah, same here. And I really like the third one.
And there's been a couple of good covers that I've heard of the intro. Actually, speaking on music, Casey Lee Williams, the vocalist for all of the RWBY music, she just did a cover of the Smash Bros. Song. That's pretty good, not gonna lie. Yeah, this episode, so Cinder activates Maiden powers, and then Neo backs down, saying they're gonna talk, like they both want Ruby dead. In which I love the just subtle official confirmation of he's like, all right, let's talk, and then Neo just points to her mouth, and then Cinder goes, right.
There's so few ways that they can ruin Neo. Because she's never going to say anything stupid.
You are correct.
That's why she's always going to be on her throne. Weiss had to get up, walk away, and then she just got right down there. Oh, man, she's back. And then she came back this episode. She's so little, too. She's like 4'3". She's the best.
She's small. Is there any way Weiss can take Neo's spot?
Yes.
How?
Because Neo isn't a character.
Okay.
And Weiss is. And I like characters, but I like what Neo has and what she does more than what I like. And more than I like Weiss's character. I like Weiss's character. She's the best in the entire RWBY, but like outside of RWBY, she wouldn't be like top 10 of anything. She's not a really good character per se, but yeah, unless she gets some sort of character traits or something like that, yeah, you know.
What's I'm saying? How could Weiss take that back from Neo? What would it take?
I'd like Weiss to be a little more funny. It's not really in her character, but everybody has a little jokey side. Yeah, a little more comedy. I also like her Ice Queen side, a little bit more of that. She's got some really good fights. I'd like to see that little zippy move that she did in Volume 2 where she created a whole bunch of glyphs around the person and just that was a really good move. Yeah. I think she can, but I'll just have to see. Because if you told me that how to make Weiss a good character, I was like, I don't know. But they made her Team Mother, and she's bringing people coffee and stuff, and I'm like, that's great. Like it, great. And she's sitting down with Yang talking about all of her life problems. Boom, got it, great. So I can see it, but this unless they get to Atlas really quickly and starts hashing out some of her family issues, I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
I think we might get a few episodes, like 2 or 3 of that at the end, maybe.
She puts Whitley on a pike.
If she beheads Whitley and puts his head on a pike, yes, that'd be a great character moment.
But as of right now, every time I see Neo, I just got the biggest Kool-Aid smile. And every time I'm like, I see Whites, I'm like, yep, Whites is there. Whites is awesome. Whites is good. But Ruby came, I mean, nice. Neo came in this intro. I was like, yes!
So, next point. We've been on this episode longer than any other just because of Neo.
I wonder why. It's almost like it's amazing.
So we cut back to Brunswick Farms, where they find a farmhouse it's deserted, but it doesn't look like ravaged by Grimm or anything. So they bust into this house, they get a fire going. Ruby goes, then they go and explore the house, most of them. Ruby goes and investigates this photo, which to me is something. I feel like it is something.
Oh, it's a thing.
Why would they bother drawing it?
Yeah, and they focus way too long on it.
Yeah. Two of the characters have orange hair, and red phonetically, Brunswick spells Burnswick, or Torchwick. So, to me, it's like, okay, this is Torchwick's hometown. And we get, then, a scream. Ruby goes upstairs and see these people that are just, like, atrophied into their beds.
Hard corpses.
Yeah. Probably the most, like...
Weiss's reaction to that is, like, really something for me. Like, you say character moments. That was a moment for me, for her.
It's like one of the most grisly looking yeah. It's like the most grisly looking corpses we've seen in this show.
Oh yeah, those were hollowed out husks. Like that was some Mass Effect shit.
Yeah. Then Crow comes back and says like the entire farm is the same. It's like everyone went to sleep, they didn't wake up. And of course, a lot of people were like, Day 5, it's Day 5, they're referencing Day 5. But it's like, okay, moving on.
Day 5?
That's Rooster Teeth's post-apocalyptic show.
Ah.
Where if you fall asleep, you die. So it's like people on their fifth day of staying awake straight.
Aren't you an extra on that?
Yes. You don't see
telling that story.
You don't see me. I'm like in the scene that happens. It's Joel. He like walks out of a movie theater, and then the camera starts panning around him, and then there's like all these people walking around the street, skateboarding and stuff, and then all of a sudden everyone's laying down dead in the street, and I was way the fuck down the street.
But then you got your sister, and she's front and center in the Avengers.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I would say technically, if you could find my pixel, I was in more collective screen time of Day 5 than she was in Avengers. I'm just saying.
$1 million movie.
That shoot was fun just because there was like one other scene where they like we all gathered close to Joel, and then he was like walking through the corpses, and they had like an overhead shot, and then Bernie over the megaphone, he's like, I just want to congratulate you all. While we were shooting that scene, someone in one of those penthouses up there walked out in their balcony, stared down the street, and immediately turned around and walked back into their apartment. So congratulations, you scared the fuck out of somebody.
Not for me, not today.
So, they, just kind of start doing their separate things. Blake and Yang go and try and find a car or some form to get them out. Ruby decides to go look for food. Weiss decides to go with her. Maria just starts reading, which ends up being useful. Very useful. And then Oscar just is there. Which is great, because it's like, fuck, no one liked his character, he just sits there, and he does nothing. So we get Yang and Blake going to this garage. Blake trying so hard to make a joke, and Yang just none of it.
Oh.
None of it.
I know that feeling.
About the tractor. And then Yang, she finds the trailer. Sees Adam's reflection in the window. She gets scared, which like while it's being handled poorly because she's still like kicking ass a little too much. I like how it is still affecting her. Like she still has the shakes. She still has the PTSD.
Yeah, you never 100% get over things like that.
Yeah. All right, then this is where we find out that Bumblebee is canon. It's the name of the motorcycle.
So what's her name? Was it Lion?
Then Blake and Yang kind of have a heart-to-heart, and Blake tries to say, like, you know, I'll be there for you, I'll protect you, and that did not go over well.
What's the problem? What happened?
Yeah.
We were cool like 2 seconds ago.
Which, again, like, I like how, as a plot device, too, the apathy, like, probably hurried along other conflicts that we'll see later on.
But
like
also, women. Am I right, guys?
Wow. So yeah, they're like, okay, we can hook this up to Bumblebee. Cuts away. Ruby and Weiss open up a room. Weiss has the coolest use of her fire powers ever. That shit was sick.
Weiss is just awesome.
Her just lighting the candle. She literally fucking Harry Pottered that shit.
Yeah, that was...
She did. Again, I love the way that they're utilizing the fact that Weiss is technically broken. She has access to every major element, and that is broken. That's Storm levels of bullshit.
Yeah,
and they're utilizing her right.
She's broken, but
oh yeah.
There's still in the background. There's still the whole fact that Volume 1 established that she was not the best fighter. So she has all the abilities, but she's like Superboy, where he's got the powers of Superman, but you know he sucks.
Yeah.
And
which is fine. It humanizes her in a way.
Yeah.
Because if she was Winter, on the other hand, with all of that power, I feel like she would just be Superman, and that would make the plot a lot more dull.
Yeah, or Ruby, where Ruby is very competent at fighting, and also with the power, she'd be like, but you know, Weiss has her own thing.
No, I think Weiss is a really good balance for her power having. Like, her personality and powers are really good in correlation to each other, so I'm happy with Weiss. Again, she is my favorite. Aesthetically, Yang is my favorite. Like, character-wise, Weiss is my favorite.
I also liked going back when Crow was like saying stuff like, we need to like go find supplies and stuff. Everybody go in a pair, and then he walks off on his own. And I remember seeing some people going like, well, he just told them to go in pairs. Why did he walk alone? Just like, he's got bad luck. He goes alone because he doesn't want anybody to
obviously
get impaled.
Yeah, come on, people, come on, catch up.
Yeah.
And also, he clearly wanted a little bit of the sauce.
True.
Yeah.
So, they find out the area that they lit was a bar, and Ruby has concerns that Crow is very down in the dumps right now.
Concerns.
She was instantly like,
Let's not let Crow find this place, please.
And then they go into a area that leads to a cellar, and I just love more booze. Again, going back to Ruby's character has come back.
Yeah.
Of her just like, oh boy. And then when they find the food and she's all super excited, and then just, trust me, you put enough salt on anything and it'll taste fine.
Yep.
And Weiss just being all snooty because she's used to high dining.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then they
shrimp flavored beans. Get that crap out of here. I'd rather starve.
Then they walk out, and then there's the cellar doors, and you see it open and close slightly. And then we get to the next episode, which is episode 6.
Good. So good.
Alone in the Woods. So everybody basically is about to go to sleep. Crow is going to keep watch, and he said he's going to wake everybody up before sunrise. And then he chugs whatever bottle.
Like 3 bottles of whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, chugs bottles. Maria is still reading, and it says that the books are journals. And it's like the guy who founded the settlement. And basically they having trouble with Grimm, so he was trying to think of ways to figure out how to ease their lives. Everybody wakes up way past dawn. And Ruby goes and kicks Crow awake, and he's hungover as shit. And
honestly, Vic's voice acting, I think, has been the strongest this season.
Yeah, Vic has been killing it.
yeah,
He really has.
But I also like Ruby just throwing the bottle, like, enough of this.
Oh, she just tossed that shit, like, fuck it. Like, wake up, motherfucker. What?
She's had some really, really good moments. I'm like, I could see myself liking this Ruby. Because she's all assertive when the dude was just like, I'm keeping the turrets up. Screw everyone. And she's like, just turn them off. She's had some really, really good moments.
That, and then, like, when they started to question Ozpin on the train, and she's like, yo, not now.
Yeah.
We can talk later, but right now, there are people that are going to die.
Where was this Ruby for 6 volumes?
I know.
Come on!
So they start to, like, hook up the trailer to Bumblebee, and everyone's just like, I'm tired. That was a prevailing line last episode of everybody just going like, man, I'm so tired. Leading to the eventual reveal. Crow then, like, in one of his bad luck moments, kicks one of the tires and immediately goes flat.
I need to drink now.
Yeah.
Hey, farm boy, do the thing.
Yeah. And then the other girls, due to the apathy affecting them, saying, like, why are we even still trying to go to Atlas? Like,
hold on. Just
go ahead.
So much of that, though, was actually really cool to see. Like, it's very not kind of subtle, I guess I'll call it. Just the progressive drooping of their eyes throughout the episode, because it does get more so throughout the episode. That was just a cool little, like, visual representation to show off. It was I liked it.
But yeah, they basically go on and say, like, we could just throw the lamp in this well, and then it would take Salem years to find it. It's like she knows where it's going to be in the different places, so this might just delay her enough, like just for a few hundred years at a minimum. So Ruby then finally starts to show signs of the apathy affecting her, and then as she's going to willingly drop it into the well, she sees a pair of glowing eyes. It startles her. She accidentally drops the relic.
That was such a good moment. I really like that. I equate that to, we got seen, I think it was it Sinister, or it was either Sinister or The Conjuring. That was it.
I have not.
I have not seen that.
Oh, there's a really good moment where they're talking about this big evil monster, and they're like, "Oh, this monster is the most evil thing." It's this older lady and a guy whose house is beyond it. Like, oh, the older lady who knows about ghosts and stuff. She's like, it's a reverse shot. She's like, oh, this monster is so terrible. He does this and this and this and this. And the dude just goes, okay, has he been summoned? And the camera cuts to him, and the monster's just behind him. There's no, like, violin screech or anything. It's just the monster's there behind him, and she's like, whoa. And it was just a really good scare. And that's what I equate that to. It's just like, hey, monster, scare.
Yeah.
And then she immediately snaps out of it, and then everyone's just like, whatever, it's fine. And then she puts her foot down. It's like, we are going down there to get the lamp. Crow then goes to get more booze, and Oscar is left to fix the tire, and Maria is still reading.
Maria is being the sassy grandma that I love.
Actually, thinking about it, was Oscar affected?
Seemingly no.
Yeah. I didn't.
That could have something to do with his dual minds.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Huh. I wonder now if Ozma's just not affected by the Grimm.
But then again, the story didn't really care enough to explore that.
Yeah.
So Maria then gets, as they're exploring the mines, Ruby finds the relic, then Maria gets to the point where they reveal that this dude led a couple apathy to their farm to keep away other Grimm because it chilled people out. But he was too lazy to block off the entrance that he had led them in initially into their sewer system and their cellars. And then more came, and they all just withered away. And then they see this horde coming at them. Then they start to try and run away, and it's just like there's a fuck ton of them. They finally get to the basement. The apathy starts like really affecting them. They all just like basically lose the will to even move.
It's a really uncomfortable Blake moment.
Yeah. It's fine.
As
the claws come in.
Made me just go, save her! Save that stupid cat, dumb cat.
And then we I think Yang manages to break in, and then Maria comes down to try and help. And then as Blake's about to get hit, Ruby goes partial silver eyes, and then Maria's like, wait a second.
Hang on.
And I love how once they actually go to her view to show that she doesn't really see in color. Because, like, that was my first thought. I was just like, why hasn't she said anything yet? But then, Ruby, what color are your eyes?
Yeah, she wouldn't just be walking around asking people about this really rare eyesight, especially when she doesn't really want people to know that she's the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. And then she...
Makes a whole lot of sense. It's very good storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, my goodness. Dios mío.
And then she tells Ruby basically how to access the powers legitimately. Ruby cyclopses the fuck out of the apathy that are in the room.
No, she didn't cyclops them. They just got like flashbanged.
Cyclops.
It wasn't a full. They didn't get eliminated. None of them got dusted. They just got stunned.
And then they get out. Weiss just lights the fucking building on fire along with them.
It's like a person finding
Crow,
in their house.
Crow was passed out in the bar. And it was just like, oh fuck. We need to go.
Crow's face as he turns around and that shot of them on fire lumbering at them was outstanding.
Like, I screwed up.
Yeah.
Oh, they are in fact dusted.
Yeah,
I'm watching the scene right now. They are dusted.
They got dusted. They got cyclopsed.
Did they? Oh, okay. I thought they just
there's just so fucking many of them. That's why they got replaced.
Oh, okay.
This is what I was saying earlier about how they should have just killed a few with pot shots. Anyways, they end up leaving, and Maria kind of explains.
Oh, wait.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know why they had Yang grab Blake's hand. I didn't like
that.
I didn't like that. That
Bumblebee.
Yep.
Bumblebee.
Here's Oscar working on the car just fine.
Okay, so he is unaffected.
Yeah,
okay.
Got it. Because I'm skimming through the episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's something there.
Unaffected. Yeah.
That's something. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
So
I would have liked a little like, are you guys okay? You look a little fucked up.
No, they are keeping him silent as we want him.
Yeah, we don't need him.
Oscar, I like Oscar. Ozpin, fuck Ozpin. Oh god, when Ozpin comes back, that's gonna be a thing.
It's gonna be awkward.
Hey,
by the way, Oscar's not.
What's up?
Oh,
it's me.
That's
it's
the
your
scene.
boy.
He pulls
that's
one from.
That's gonna be the scene of Ozpin getting Oscar getting pinned to the wall by Jean. Is Jean learning the truth?
He pulls one from the God of Light. Hey.
Sup, Shao?
Oh. Yeah, then Maria explains the apathy and like how it just drained their will to live, basically. And then
I love her line.
And then Ruby says that, or asks like, how do you know about the Silver Eyes? And Maria's like, I used to have them.
No, come on. Say that right. Ruby asks, how come you know so much about Grimm, and how come you knew how to make me use my powers? And she goes, isn't it obvious, girl? I had silver eyes. That was so good!
And now, we get to the episode that just came out today. The Grim Reaper. So, starts off with, I think it's Cinder, right? Yeah. They're still in Haven.
They're in the vault.
Yeah, they're in the vault, which, okay, now I think about it, that fucking proves that they could just climb that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because they couldn't get into the entrance.
Hey, that's Volume 5 stuff. We're not thinking about that.
You need the maiden to open the entrance.
Nope, that's Volume 5 stuff. We're not thinking about that.
Oh my god. I didn't even think about that till just now.
Yep. That's what Ozpin's like, yeah, we can't leave these things sitting around. I'm actually an idiot. I didn't build these vaults right at all.
And then Cinder, I like the touch of like her just as she's flipping the knife, it's like new form. Basically her catching Neo up on all this stuff. And then we find out that like she is still following the orders that Salem gave her of how she is not to kill Ruby.
No, she can harm her, can't kill her.
Which to me says, and we know that Salem knows that Cinder's alive, so she's probably tracking her with the Grim and knows what she's up to at all times. The Grim arm.
She still has the Grim arm, so she probably has a little fucking tracking system going.
Yeah, so she literally cannot act in violence towards Ruby.
Yeah.
And because Salem would know, so that's why she's bringing in Neo to be the one to kill Ruby. And they shake on it. And then, was there anything? I'm trying to think if there's anything else of like big in that scene, but it's mostly just Cinder explaining stuff.
Yeah, that's all that was.
Neo deliberating, and then handshake. And then we get a past scene of Maria as the Grim Reaper. I got fucking Soul Eater vibes from her outfit.
Yeah.
And
it's really the mask.
The mask and the hood. It had like the little curly tip to it. I saw the outfit, I'm just like, ooh, this is already making me feel tingles. I like it.
Oh, this is going a good place right now.
And then the whole fight scene with the Grim, her showing off her magnetic dual sides.
Yeah, she pulled out the scythe. I'm like, oh great, another scythe user. Then she pulled out another one. I was like, ooh.
They do say that 2 is better than 1. And it went full fucking Darth Maul with her later on connecting them together. So then,
I hope she still has those. And she just passes them down to Ruby once her scythe gets broken or something.
Yeah.
Something, because I really, really like those.
So then
gone.
So then she like fights. She's fighting a Nevermore. Seemingly kills it, doesn't, and knocks her off, and then she is without a weapon, so she's forced to use her Silver Eyes. Outing herself, basically. And then these thugs come and approach her, including one Crocodile Faunus who had an alarm clock, which it was after the episode where I was like, ooh, okay, I know where it's coming from now.
I love her. She's so awesome. Why is she beheaded? Come back. Her name was Talk.
Oh, nice.
I want her back. She's so awesome. I love her voice. She's got a great look. Her semblance is pretty good. It's dumb, but it's good.
Yeah. It's more like a JoJo stand where it's like there's a limitation, but she works within it.
Yeah, you got 60 seconds and nothing can hurt you, but after that, it looked like you're just done.
Legitimately.
Oh, I love her. No.
Yeah. And then we got
what I like died.
And then we got, to me personally, the best fight in RWBY.
Really?
For me, best fight in RWBY.
It was a really, really good fight.
Just because I loved this. I loved Maria's style with the dual sides. Yeah. I loved when she connected them together. Although, pet peeve of mine, whenever anybody has a staff weapon, they tend to do the like quick twirly thing for blocking, and I fucking hate that because it's lazy.
It's fine.
But everything else,
I like how they were not all just Batmaning it, where they're just waiting for their turn to attack. People were firing at her as she's fighting 2 other people.
Like she got hit a bunch, like which you could see during that, and then her aura went down. And then as she was fighting, right at the last second, mask comes off, and then the eyes just get slashed.
Quick question. What was your number 1 before this fight?
It was probably a tie between Cinder and Neo, and then Crow and Tyrion.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's why I, for me, said at the time Cinder and Neo was the best fight in a long time, and then this fight came along for me.
I watched that like 3 times. Like, yeah, this is really, really good.
Yeah, and then just her like just chucking everything, just trying to fire randomly when she can't see, and then her like getting to her other one, going like, wait a minute, just impaled and then beheaded. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like learning all these like Crow, like just in a short little thing had like such a big character moment to me of like him like literally fanboying over her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was
saying
cool
like,
to see.
You were a legend. I based my weapon off of you. I wanted to be as good as the Grim Reaper. And and then she had a line a little bit later where was like, I'm just a walking disappointment, so you're well on your way.
Yeah.
She's such a girl.
She's the best.
I love that line.
I don't want to like her too much because then once I start liking her, she's just gonna die. So I'm gonna hold back a little bit.
But yeah, basically just saying that like once she got the robo eyes, she just went into hiding. She was ashamed. She didn't want to out herself anymore. Otherwise, people coming to finish the job, she was scared.
She already said that this generation is even better than she was. So there's not like they're making her out to be the strongest hunter ever.
And that's what I was saying. Like, she was known as the Grim Reaper. I don't know. I mean, we aren't really so sure how well she did in PvP, so to speak. And then Ruby was like, can you train me to use my eyes? And then like seemingly she's going to say yes, but then she gets a call from Jean, and it turns out they are right by Atlas, or sorry, Argus. And
they make a point to show her phone with John on it, and it just says "Vomit
Boy."
Good. That's all he is. Good. After 6 seasons, that's all she is to him. And stop with the shipping, people. Ruby feels nothing for this vomit person.
So they get in. Also, again, like, just a dumb little touch that I was like, hey, that was good. But that didn't even need to do. Just showing Yang locking up her bike. It's like, oh, where did she put it? She locked it up. And they made a point before the train left saying, like, is your bike on the train ready to go? Like,
it's really important to her, so
just like answering subtle little questions of just like, okay, she has to put this bike somewhere.
Huge.
Then shows the teams meeting back up. Nice little tender moment with Ruby and John, which was, as we stated earlier, platonic friendship hug.
Completely. There's nothing there. There never was. Yang hugged Rin. Is everybody going to start shipping them? Of course they are.
I also love, oh yeah, because like Blake also hugged John, but it was kind of like a half hug, like, hey.
What's up?
And then Weiss did not hug anybody.
Nobody. Stay up. Don't touch me. Oz got tackled.
Yeah. Got tackled by Nora. I also just liked Ruby, just like, I said, I promised you, didn't I? Like, just nice little character moment. And then, like, also the wide shot of the city, which was a painting, which is awesome looking. The city itself looked awesome, as we said before, based off of San Francisco. And then
bunch of people in it.
Yeah.
Wasn't like two people just mulling around.
In the first scene of the trolley like coming towards the camera, there's some dude just running in the background, and I just want to imagine he's like, fuck! Wait! Stop! Wait! Because like I only noticed that because my my episode paused, like it started buffering at that point, so it's just frozen there. I'm like, oh fuck, that dude!
Stop it! You stop monologuing and help this man.
Poor guy. So they get off and they're like kind of explaining about like, oh, we need to go like do this, this, and that, and then like answer a bunch of different questions. And then they're like, oh, so where have you guys been staying? And then we see a woman turn around. There's a woman with a baby. And then Jean goes, hey, Sap. And then Ruby has her third innocent, cute moment of the volume of it revealing to be one of Jean's sisters. And goes into like, I loved basically everything about those scenes. Just the whole brother-sister dynamic, the picture.
Yeah, the picture was really good. I don't watch the Loud House, but I got a real Loud House vibe from that picture.
And they also snuck in like a reference to Camp, and there one of Jean's siblings was decked out in the like Camp colors and doing a scouter salute thing. But yeah, just him in the middle and just all the sisters just being crazy, and like one of them was like a bookish nerdy one, and oh, that was awesome.
You got a little sign that says "Help me."
Yeah. And then the baby having actual better character moments than many characters have had in this show.
Yang and Weiss fangirling over the baby is really good because Yang is used to dealing with children as she had to take care of Ruby, and Weiss is very motherly. It makes sense that it'd be those two, and only those two. I really like that.
And just, I think what led to that moment was like, Jean was like, I am not a baby, that's a baby, and the baby just looks up and then crosses his arms and just looks at him. And then we get another character walking in, and it is Saffron is the full name of Jean's sister, Saffron's wife. And I've seen hit and miss on this whole thing. To me, how they introduced it and just moved the fuck on is how you should do it.
Yes, I agree to that. It's there, and that it's a normal thing. It's not like a spotlight, please, gay character coming through.
Yeah, like for me, this like
is my wife. Help me with this, honey. Done.
Yep. And just them talking about different things, and again, they both had character moments of like she's in charge of fixed like maintenance on the CCT towers, and it's just like and they're blaming it on somebody. Me. Yeah. Just like pokes her head back in. Like all that, everything about that scene was great to me. And then ends on like, okay, we're gonna start with like going to the military base. And they're like, oh, we already tried that. I'm like, oh, how bad could it be? Closed door. And we are caught up.
Yeah.
It only took 2 hours.
So much to unpack. Like,
yeah.
This season was massive.
This season has had more in it than very much the last two.
That whole Salem Oz episode had more in it than Volume 5. It's ridiculous.
Oh. Yeah. So versus
they just made that big dumb Maria brick bridge and that whole environment. They went there once and they're never going back. I love crap like that.
Mm-hmm. So versus you had said that there was a reaction to Sap's wife in the fandom.
Drew?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did it?
What was
you okay
the
there, bud?
Oh, no. Nothing major. Just fandom seeing lesbian couple. It was the fact that they have a kid that I also think a lot of people are going to lose their minds over. You know,
think so, or it's already been a thing?
Well, it's been a small thing, technically, but how do I word this?
We won't be offended. Other people.
Some might. Speak for yourself.
Some might.
Sorry, just been saying quietly, listening.
It's fine.
You know what? Just forget it.
Okay. What, like, if that is a big thing, it's like,
it's not a big thing in the way of, oh, lesbians have a married kid or whatever. I'm like, deep shippers are just gonna see some justification in that when they're like, you know, White Rose having a kid, Bumblebee having a kid, that kind of thing.
I see.
That's it.
Well, no. here's how I take that. It's either one or two things. It's either adoption, hardcore, done, or it's what's the Saffron? Is that
Saffron is her name.
Mhm.
Saffron is the sister, or is that not the sister? Is that
That's the
wife?
sister.
Okay, what's the wife name?
Terracotta.
Terracotta. That's Terracotta's kid from a previous marriage, because it looks same skin color, same hair color. It takes after 0% after not even the same eye color. It takes after 0% after Saffron. So I'm gonna go previous, or maybe that's like a kid brother or something. We don't know.
Like sperm bank or something.
We're not going that two women can. It's not.
Oh, I'm not saying that's where I'm not saying that officially that's where the kid came from. I'm saying people are just gonna take that too far.
Oh,
as
absolutely.
They always have.
Yeah, people are stupid enough to do that. People want their justification to just go, I want a little Ruby White's kid. So, hey, look at this. Two lesbians have a kid. It must be possible. It is possible. Done. No,
It's like
want
it's
it
like
to happen.
It's like Bible Black, guys.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
For those that don't know what that is, don't
say
look it up.
anything.
Don't look it up. Save yourselves. Save it.
Save yourselves. But all right,
But yeah.
let's talk about the good stuff. Let's throw all that fandom. Let's get that out of here. Let's
Oh, we're
talk
talking about good stuff? So, Bible Black is.
Some may consider it a Ruby AU.
Team Vincent Grimm, same thing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, let it go, Mike. We don't want to go too far.
I am
way too far.
What I am going to do. Incognito window is open.
Don't look up Ruby X Bible Black Michael, please.
That is exactly.
Save yourself.
That is exactly what I am looking up right now.
Take it from the man that looked up scat. You don't want to do that.
Take it from the man
DA
who
laughs
edited
and
scat.
editor.
Let's see. Let's see.
Oh,
Dude.
no.
I don't
Okay.
think-
There's no crossovers.
Hey.
Oh.
Internet.
Yet.
Oh God, this is
This,
out there now.
this is the episode that blows up
Yeah.
for our podcast. And then all of a sudden, it's just everywhere.
Hey, yeah, I could go for some of that.
You
I
just start
could be
seeing
the
the
first.
You start seeing the Ruby girls in the Bible Black school outfit and just go, oh, this is our responsibility.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What have we
did
done?
this.
Okay. So
But- In general, just this volume has been amazing.
it's been
Oh, yeah.
solid. Honestly, solid.
Like,
A few gripes here and there, honestly, like
Minor.
Minor. The only really, I guess I could say, big problem I had with this volume was, Mike brought it up where Yang and Blake were looking for transport back in the town. Yang had that panic attack involving Adam. It sounds like Blake didn't. Of course, she probably told them. But when Blake was like, I know Adam's still out there. No, wait. It was Yang that asked, I wonder if Adam's still out there. I'm like, you know, Blake let him go.
mhm.
He just ran away.
Yeah.
What
Are
am
you going to shoot him since he's so far away? Nah.
no, that
Guns
one,
don't work. You know this.
that one GIF showed
I'm
that what would
apathetic
happen if
towards
guns
guns.
work.
It's just the law that we have this gun. That darn king.
Oz was just sitting there like 100, 200, 300.
You calling fat stacks over there, Oz?
That is actually the fun. That is actually the funds that he used to build the school. So really, guns are building schools in this world. America could learn a thing or two. Hashtag.
America. Drops America.
Oh, God.
That's why the gods left. So.
Man, like, so
Go ahead.
what?
Does that make Beacon Detroit?
No. I want to say Mistral's Detroit.
Yeah, there was a lot of decrepit towns.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to say wherever Talk is from is Detroit. This is weird. Old timey England, New York. England, Detroit. Sorry, I don't know why I said New York.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just like,
fine.
wait.
So safe to say, is Maria like the best character this volume for all of us, besides DA, obviously?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think it's a tie between her and Crow. For me right now.
I like...
You give me a training episode of her training Ruby, and she's like all Yoda up in this bitch, or she's just like smacking Ruby with her cane, then she'll put herself to the top. But I have not seen that yet.
I know that's coming, but she has just given a lot so far, and Crow has just been Crow.
Yeah, I'm going Neo, Ruby, and then Maria. Because I've really been digging Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
Yeah, everyone has. I think Weiss has kind of stayed the course, but she's already been good. Blake has had an uptick. Yang is having an uptick with the like actual shakiness and stuff. Maybe uptick to, like somewhere between stay the course and uptick for Yang. Ruby is skyrocketing. Crow is staying the course. Cinder is on an uptick purely because she's not doing her voice.
The voice.
Ooh, boy, I'm so happy about that.
I mean, still, my favorite line of her was that it was somebody's. Just like casual evil. Awesome.
No, my favorite line is "Let's talk." Right.
I wouldn't consider that a line. That was just.
I clapped.
That was a clip. That was a good clip.
So, Versus kind of gave his like gripes. Ralph, do you have any other gripes that you haven't mentioned yet?
That haven't been mentioned that I haven't picked up on so far. Not really. We've kind of hit on everything. I kind of already just didn't feel too much. I will say the way the abruptly ended today's episode, I didn't like it. Like it felt rushed and stupid, to be honest.
They love them cliffhangers.
That's not a cliffhanger. It would have been a cliffhanger if they goes, yeah, we tried that. It didn't go so well. And then you just see their face going like, what? Kind of like a confused look, and it fades. Okay, zoom up to them in front of the gate with the gate comedically closing, and then hard cut to end was just annoying to me. Like that, it was dumb.
It's gonna look weird in the full release of the whole volume, when it's like all one movie mode as opposed to episodes.
Well, last volume they didn't do movie mode. It was separate episodes.
Okay.
Like each, because there was a point in the for the commentary tracks. I don't own the volume, but I watched Fat Man Falling's critique of the commentary, and Carrie and Miles made a point of like, hey, with all the intros that are going to be playing, we can just talk about whatever the hell we want. So, saying that the intro played between every episode.
I forgot.
Yeah, so they're probably done with movie mode.
Well, it makes sense. If it was movie mode, it'd be like, what, 3 hours long?
Which actually, going on to that, so I haven't watched, I think, the last two episodes.
Hey, DA, do you have any major gripes other than what you have said?
I'm sorry.
Major gripes?
I had a thought, and I was going...
thank you for asking, Versus. Oh, what a great host you are, Versus.
I try.
Write down whatever you're gonna say so you don't forget.
I got it in my head.
Okay, good. The only real thing that I can think of that's a major gripe is it's a little too much too soon. This whole volume just feels like course correction, where they're just like, okay, last volume was poopy. We need to completely fix it. That's why I said volume 5 and 6 feel like a completely different show, because they're just like, we're explaining stuff, we're giving good moments. It's just like all the problems, they're fixing them, but they're not fixing them slowly. They're just going, here's your problems, here's a fix.
I'm just imagining Bernie and Matt Hullum just sitting in a boardroom with Miles and Carrie. It's like, all right, guys, listen. Last season was poopy.
What are we gonna do about this?
The internet's literally on fire. You gotta fix this.
As soon as you said poopy. What is it about, like, just silly words that, like, are also swear words, but the silly version is just so much funnier.
Because swear words are sort of like inherently they have some sort of anger or malice behind them. But something like poopy, you're like, hey, that's a little 3-year-old word. Yeah, that's my only thing where it's just like a whole episode to the whole pass. You got a bunch of Silver Eye stuff. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad, but it just feels. I think that next volume it won't be as good as this one because it won't be doing as much, but it'll be better in terms of just keeping the story going as opposed to course correction.
Yeah, like I agree with you, but I think it's needed.
Yeah, it's definitely needed.
It's
needed.
And that
It's just
like
I see what DA means. It's hard because there's so much, but it's an unfortunate necessity because of how they structured the past 2 seasons.
Especially after Volume 5 where we got almost nothing. It just feels like a whole lot in
I turned into a bird! This is awful!
You monster!
Meanwhile, he's using it in a fight with Grimm to his advantage. What a curse! I'm suffering right now.
Terrible.
I forgot that he did use the bird ability in his fight. Well, I guess Raven never did, so like he doesn't really think it's a curse, but I guess Raven does.
But there's still no reason why. You just turn into you can choose not to turn into a bird. You're not just sitting there eating food and you just turn your head and you're like, oh, I'm a bird now.
She has goddess powers, for fuck's sake. She's a literal target of the entire world. And she's crying about being a bird, being able to camouflage herself.
You're a monster.
There you are.
So, the thing that I was going to get to before, because the reason I was segueing was because we were on the topic of the RWBY critics. So I've been watching their episode recaps. I haven't seen the last 2, but I've been like going, just kind of following. And it seems that, because there's 4 of them, there's Celtic Phoenix, Fat Man Falling, British Ninja, and then Slick Sick Productions. And it seems like Celtic and Ninja are really enjoying the season. And Slick, fuck you and your onomatopoeia. Tom and Fat Man Falling are not. And it's interesting to see that dichotomy. And someone in the comments actually really put it well. And it's actually a kind of a thing that like you and BG have, DA, where it seems like Celtic and Ninja are very much into characters and character stuff. So like when Neo came back and all that different stuff, they were super hyped, they were super into it. And then Tom and that was like, well, what does she have to do with the plot? Yeah. Like, what does this character have to do with the plot? Like, why should I care? Yada yada this, because like BG's into plot stuff, you're into character stuff. And it's interesting seeing that dichotomy with like very vocal critics, I guess. Yeah,
I also give Batman a little bit of a pass because he's probably spent more time than anyone with this show. So he's thought about all sorts of angles and had this in his mind for so long that he's just like, okay, where does this go? As opposed to enjoying the moment. So him I can excuse.
Yeah. Like he, like I know his big thing was like he still wants more explained, but it's just like they're already packing so much fucking shit into this volume. It's like he still is like, how does aura work? How does semblances work? Yada yada this, yada that. How does that?
We're never gonna get that. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
That has been retconned like so many times. I feel like just let the show do whatever it wants with that. Who cares? At this point, it's broken.
Yeah, but so that has been fascinating to watch. Just like these very outspoken critics of the show, some of them are legitimately enjoying the changes and are applauding the writers, and the other 2 are just like, fuck you.
Now, the question is, are they just jaded to the point where they can't enjoy it anymore? Because
I will say...
we have an example of that here with Drew. You want to tell them your response to this season so far? Everything you've said to me?
Oh, alright. It's not this volume's fault, I will say. Let me get the positives out of the way first. This volume is definitely an improvement. The characters pop more. I feel like I'm not just watching devices. just sitting around waiting for an excuse or waiting for something to happen before they can do anything.
Mhm.
Each of the characters feel dynamic. They feel more alive. Like if you left Volume 6 RWBY by herself, I feel like you guys seen that Looney Tunes episode where Daffy Duck, he keeps getting messed with by the animators and all that stuff, which is bugs.
Yeah.
I feel like if RWBY was in a similar episode like that, it would play just as well as with Daffy there. Her character feels rooted and grounded, which is great, because Volume 4, no. Volume 4 and 5, awful. 6, great improvement. That said, and this is all just me. This is just me.
Just say it, Drew.
All right. I don't think there's anything that could get me as excited for the show as I was before. That hype train or whatever, it's not only derailed, it crashed into another train.
No, I dig it. That's just a consequence of growing older, having it. You watch it when it's fresh, and it's like, oh man, when it first shows up, and it's like, oh, it's fresh, and you just think about it a lot, like I was with JoJo and My Little Pony. It's just like it's something fresh, it's something new, it's something great. And then it starts, you watch it a little bit more. Even if it's still a 10 out of 10 show, you will never be as excited as you were in the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's completely normal.
Okay, good, because I thought I was a freak.
Yeah, absolutely not. You don't. I go back to old episodes where I'm just like, oh, JoJo. I'm like, yeah, JoJo. JoJo is still as good as it ever was, but it's just
You subconsciously hit poses.
Yeah, but I don't talk about it as much.
No, you don't, but you subconsciously hit poses.
We're not talking about that.
He doesn't do it that as much either, but he still does it.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about everything. Every sort of love that you will ever have has a plateau.
Yeah, of course.
And you've just reached your plateau. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Normal.
Okay.
Like
I like My Little Pony still, but I am never going to be as excited as I was back in the day.
Yeah, for example, like me and Zelda. When I first played Ocarina of Time, there was that sense of wonder and amazement when I first played that game and first started running around in Hyrule. Breath of the Wild came close, but it still couldn't reach that. Of me being a kid and just seeing this 3D world, just this amazing world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. I love Zelda still, but I know I could never get to that excitement again.
Yeah. And I feel like this is my peak for excitement because I'm like, yeah, it's all great. I don't think I'm ever going to be as invested in the show as I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Once Neo dies.
Oh, yeah.
I know a fate worse than Neo dying. Neo being hooked up with Cinder.
If they hook up and then just walk into the sunset and are never seen again, I will take Neo being gone if she takes Cinder with her. Even if it means they both just jump off of a cliff together.
She umbrella seppuku's both of them.
Boom.
They get into a car and just drive off a cliff.
Perfect.
But then you see an umbrella come out the top of the car and you're like,
and it's Cinder. Oh no!
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Wait, is that Roman's hat along with it?
Why did I grab this thing? Torches it. There we go.
I had something before versus started talking. Fuck, what was it? It was something on the critics. Oh, I was just gonna go on to say how, for the critics, if I could critique a critic, all the fucking bits that Tom has been doing have been annoying as shit recently.
Yeah. It's not.
Have you watched them at all, Drew?
RWBY reviews. No.
Okay. He just keeps doing these air quotes characters. Just he's a Scottish person now. Or he, garbles his brain so he can actually enjoy RWBY. And becomes, slightly brain dead. Just dude.
He's trying too
when
hard.
in the episode where I think it was Celtic and Fat Man were just like, boy, this is cringy. You should have known that. Okay, this is my time to stop. When the people who are my friends are telling me that's cringy, what's the audience gonna do? The audience is gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with this volume, it's getting people like me on board with it. If I'm sitting here telling Tom too,
There's light
Read
poking
that.
out from the horizon in my worldview of RWBY.
You need
there's
to
hope.
chill, my dude.
Even if you still think it's bad, it's not as bad as it was. So
Yeah.
at least have that. But no, it's just no, I dig that.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So critiquing the critic. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Unless we have anything else to talk about, which we have thoroughly talked about things.
Oh, we have gone over this shit at
Yeah.
length.
Yeah, we have.
I don't think that it can get worse, and even if it does get worse, it's not going to get as bad. It's not going to get below third. I don't see any way that it possibly can.
I am inclined to believe that, but we wait and see.
I went from cautiously optimistic to optimistic now.
Yeah.
I still think something bad could happen, but
Something bad can always happen.
yeah, like
Here's what I say to BG all the time: Jinbei is in One Piece.
Mhm.
One Piece is the greatest thing ever, and then you got Jinbei.
and our Jinbei is Jean.
I just saw something on
Ugh.
Twitter recently of
God.
a dub moment for Nami, but it also included Jinbei. So I was just like, I bet you, even because this character moment for Nami is great, DA probably still hates it because Jinbei.
Jinbei.
Capital J Jinbei. Screw him.
All right. I think with that, we will call this meeting of Team Karma adjourn.
Yeah.
Gavel,
I could talk at length about
my machine gun gavel.
Oh yeah, the anthology, real quick.
Oh, the anthology.
Oh, yes. Okay, we need to talk about that. All right.
All right.
Go, Drew.
Okay. I'll make this very, very quick. First volume with Ruby. Great. Explain some stuff. Went into her backstory. I can't help but feel like the Ruby in that influenced Ruby in Volume 6. Great. Recommend it. Weiss had some great moments. Mixed feelings on it because of repetition. It's fine, whatever. Blake, burn it. Piss on it. I don't care. It's there. I don't know how.
Do both.
I don't know how they could have made her worse, but they did somehow. All the while shipping Bumblebee constantly.
Versus, what else does she have? This is it.
I don't know. Her relationship with Sienna, her relationship with Ilya, her relationship with Adam and the rest of the White Fang, her strained history growing up in the White Fang, growing up as a discriminated group of people, maybe something related to her family, going into the backstory about that. Oh, no, apparently
Can I
not.
offer a counterpoint?
Yes.
Yang.
That's next volume.
Your turn.
You know what?
You know
I didn't
what?
think about that angle.
I got you, fam. I see your point.
That's all the shippers are gonna think. Just we're
all
getting
that's-
what we want, and what's wrong about this?
That's all I freaking see on Twitter about this volume.
And if people buy the book, if one person buys the book and turns to their friend and goes, "You like Bumblebee, yeah?" And they go, "Yeah." They go, "This book is chock full of Bumblebee bait. Check it out." That's another sale that they got.
Oh, I know.
So instead of just going, "Hey, there's some really good character moments," people are gonna be like, "Yeah, okay, I'll check it out if I have the time." But if it's like, "Yo, Bumblebee," they go, "Oh, yes." So, you get enough of those people. The book ain't for you.
Obviously
them.
not. Character? No, it ain't for you, man. Lesbians. That's who it's for.
Yep, lesbians. That's
Lesbians.
lesbians.
Chris
Hey,
Abbott is in the show.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
that's all it takes. Hey, lesbians. That equals character. That equals good.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens after they get together? That's all people think about is the moment that they get together. What happens next?
They're just like in a house, like sipping coffee. It's like, so you go get the mail every time. Red eyes.
Well, thanks to this latest episode of Volume 6, we now know they're gonna have a kid. Adopt, sperm, I don't know. Or that's what the shippers will say. I need to separate that stuff.
So, did Yang have an anthology volume?
It's not out yet.
Ah, okay. Well, of course, she got so much screen time in the Blake one, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drew was sending me snapshots of it every time it happened. It was just ding, 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 ding. It was rough.
The only way I could react to this was, I can't remember his name. I haven't watched or read JoJo yet. The old man Joestar.
Oh no! That.
Yeah, him. I just kept. All I could do was just, okay, what's a good reaction? Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. It just said it wrong.
Should probably watch or read JoJo. So
It's on my list of, along with One Piece of stuff.
So I actually thought of something before we actually end it. In the trailer and in the opening, there are 3 things I think that haven't been air quotes shown yet. There's the flying person from the trailer. We don't know if that's Cinder. We don't know if that's Watts. Maybe he has flying powers or something. Who knows? So we still haven't seen that scene yet. We haven't seen John flipping the fuck out on
Oscar.
That's probably this episode coming up next week.
And then we haven't seen any of Adam. So those are like 3 things that we know are probably going to come up but haven't yet. I would say predictions, but I really don't know.
My prediction's probably going to be Crow's going to try to talk to the Atlas soldiers, and while he's doing that, Maria's going to train Ruby for a little bit, and then Cinder and Adam are going to cross paths somehow while they're trying to say, oh, I'm killing these bitches. No, I'm killing them. And they just get into a huge fight.
And hopefully kill each other. And then Neo is standing there and takes the clothes off of both of them and makes a new hybrid sick as fuck yo outfit.
Yo! Get in there! That's what I want.
I think we can end it there, in all honesty.
Take her arm.
Dude, and then Neo would become a maiden!
Yo!
And then it's like fucking Ariel getting her voice back, the powers flow in.
Hurricane wind right into the city! Lightning bolts raining down! Where are you?
And she has just like a deep ass, like sassy black woman voice.
I will avenge you. maybe stay silent. My days are not talking are over.
Never mind. Oh, the voice just comes out.
Ursula, it's a favor.
All right, with that, because we are almost 3 hours into this bitch. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of the RWBYcast. Team KRMA strikes again. I don't fucking know what we're gonna name it.
$30 rises.
There we go. There we go. Boom, boom. Oh, Versus took out his mic.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you in 7-ish weeks or so, depending if they keep going. I don't know if they're going to take a break or not, but in 7 weeks, the volume will be over, and then we will find out if I will be PayPaling / Venmoing DA $30 or not. Do you have Venmo or PayPal?
I have PayPal.
Cool. 'Cause I don't feel like sending a fucking check. I don't send checks to anyone anymore. I've gotten people on Venmo. It is lovely.
Pay to the order of Dan Brown.
Darren Aaron.
No,
This is
Darren.
useless to me, Michael.
Kind of a
All
long
right.
pause there.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next time.
Later.
Blake still sucks.